want oil lower. For the record, we're trying to have oil be weak, Sharif. You can cheer it on if you're long it, but we want oil down, market up. That's what we want.
We are happy to tell you that the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Options, is here ready to go. Sharif is here ready to go. So good show today, 11 o'clock. Thanks to Derek. Great to have you back. Thank you to Tiffany.
Something.
Thank you to Andre. Everybody that's working hard over there. Ramin, everybody as well. I don't know if I haven't seen Fabian yet, but shout out to him. Shout out to Brendan. And thanks to Sharif for the morning show. But you're about to see this guy coming up right now. That's Neil. I'm Sean. We'll see you at 2 p.m. Peace.
You see how Sean included Ram in that list there?
That's very nice of him.
No, we're gonna have to remove Ram off that list right there, Joe. You can't be included Ram.
Whoa.
Greetings and salutations, beautiful people.
My boy.
Bro, I'm a pro at this, man. Been doing this every day for 4 years. Shout out. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Joey Options. I'm Sharif, and we're having everybody mosey on over from the other screen, so we're going to wait for everybody to come in, and then we're going to shut them out. Fluffy, Hippo. We got Luis frickin' Barbado back in the chat, A-Day Trading. We got Jesse Hernandez. Shout out to my man, Jesse Martinez. Stormy Trades. Jody's back, Joe.
Yeah.
Jacques. We got One Micro Trader and Boomstick. I was going to say broomstick, but I made a mistake. The one, hey, he says, Andrew Chow, right back at you. We got DK, 6052, Mr. CNL. We got the OG, Bhavin Patel. And what kind of day would it be without Gamecraft Nico or Hinsey or John Roberts? How about Georgie Porgy, frickin' 22? Shout out to my man, Trust Fund Baby. We got Lele. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Blue Spots. And who else is the man? Poor Robin Hood, Armenian Muscle. He's flexing up a storm in the chat. Shout out to him. We got Shaka Trades and the real Don D. Kirk D, let's go. Angry Rob Entertainment and Green Day Dean, amongst the many that have joined us today.
Yeah.
Got a lot more new viewers. We got a lot new subs. Welcome to everybody. If you're just joining us today, we are the regular hosts of the Midday. Again, that is your boy Joey Options. I'm Sharif, and we're going to be doing this for 3 hours. What are you looking at, my man?
Man, come on, man. I think there's one name that's in play here today, and that's going to be SpaceX. But we do have Google heading towards a high of the day. Sorry about the dark pool wicks, guys, but it took a couple attempts to get this bad boy rolling. Attempt number one, we get stopped out at the lows, but I'm like, not today. You're not fooling your boy. We get right back in. We take a little bit off, and then we have the volume-weighted average price hold. So we add a little bit more, get back into somewhat about approximately 25% more size than what we had on this original position. Now let's see if we can break the high of the day. There goes Google to 370, help dragging the NASDAQ, and Apple also being one of the stronger names. We're going to send things off to Adara right now, but happy post Freedom 250, everyone. Hope everyone is having, that is Obi. We got Obi up there. All right, Adara, talk to us.
Here in GOOGL, as you can see here with the headline on your screen, they do have a piece of news moving higher here on GOOGL as they announce a $1.5 billion investment for 2026 and 2027 to expand their data center campus in Jackson County, Alabama. So Alabama data center expansion on watch here for GOOGL to the tune of $1.5 billion. It looks like those investments are going to again happen in 26 and 27. Back to you.
Much for that, Adara. All right, guys, let's get right into what we got going on here today. There goes Google. I mentioned this not too long ago, 371.24, and then now it looks like we're going to get somewhat of a pullback here on SPX, or CX. I'm going to continue to forget that. But we also have the SPY and the triple Qs at the high of the day. Now, what is really dragging? We have Tesla downside. I'm not surprised by that whatsoever, but we're going to kick things off with AAPL, as this name, you can do it, you can change. Sharif, it might be one of those days. As we are hovering around the high of the day here on AAPL, so a strong move. But we also have Robinhood running into that $100 marker. We love that. But why is the SPY slightly stronger than what the NASDAQ is up to. It isn't JPM, even though we did have a strong gap up into 325. We're now down to 321, but we're holding that gap area low, which I really like. We're going to continue to hold on to this SpaceX. We're about 50% win rate on this bad boy right now, still slightly red on it. Now we need a high of the day break and then a continuation on this play. Am I going to be buying any just anytime soon? No, I don't believe I am. I believe we could get $150, $135. That's going to be my ideal price here on SpaceX. So we'll be patient. We'll remain calm and just allow the earnings report too. So don't forget, now quarterly, we're going to get this company's earnings. And I think that's going to tell a lot, because if the street doesn't like it, it's going to sell off, and then we're going to be able to get in at prices that we want.
Just before we go to the ad read, QTEX is ripping here, guys. You need to be alert to this one. We're on the way to 2. It's a recent breakout from a flat top at around 170. Watch out here. QTEX is moving. And with that, let me tell you about this. Huge shout out, massive shout out to VinFast for sponsoring today's video. They just announced a massive partnership with AutoBrains and NVIDIA, all to bring you level 4 agentic AI autonomous driving to real life. We're talking about next gen, Katina, man. We're talking about intelligent tech that is completely redefining how we actually hit the road. So if you want to see what the actual future of driving looks like, you need to click the link in the description and check out VinFast today. Shout out to VinFast. So QTEX, this one, I'm focused on this one at the moment. So here we go. Buvin, I was trying to tag you. I don't know why it wasn't letting me tag you in the chat, Buvin. But we're on the way to 2. We're close to about 50% in Greensville on the day, up 46.5. We've done a good amount of volume on the day. We're closing in on 13 million shares with a 1 penny spread. There's ample liquidity to get in and get out. I don't want to say unscathed, because you can get smacked with these ones, but the fact of the matter is, the cost of doing business here with a 1 penny spread close to $2, I'm liking this one's set up at the moment. So we're going to keep a close eye. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to text you, Buvin. Buvin's in from 66s, so $1.66. Your boy Buvin took the flat top break on this one, and there goes QTEX into another high of the day, into $1.94. This one's on its horse, and this one could see $2 rather than later. Let me tell you something. If this one clears 2.5, I'm going to start thinking 5. Okay, so we're going to keep a close eye here on QTEX. But as we tell you about this one, let's tell you about some others. There was a good-looking one here, GLXG, but it no longer looks good. In fact, it looks quite bad, and it may lose its spot on the very coveted side charts over here. Joey,
yeah,
what does this setup look like to you over here? What do you see over here?
Yeah, that's a failed bull flag potentially.
Bro, yeah, yes, 100%. But what do you like? Look at these topping tails.
Oh, okay. They're genuine, so you see a lot of selling pressure.
Yeah, no, always genuine on the black charts, Joey.
Yeah,
always, never dark pools.
The dark pools.
No. So what I'm seeing here is a failed break of $3. And it was really set up quite aggressively. A lot of equilibrium here between buyers and sellers at this $3. At least that's how it was for about 20 minutes. And then we started failing just to even reach $3. And that started happening on this candle here, the one that just closed at 11 o'clock. And then all hell broke loose to the downside when we failed that 255 bottom. Let's say 255, 250. Okay, because that was where the support on all these topping tail candles was essentially coming in. So that failed. It failed miserably. So be on the lookout here. GLXG, it's a no good. HQ, bit more expensive. I wanted to say it's more expensive. It's $15. It's got a good pattern under its under its sales here. What I'd say is look for a 14 to 14 and a quarter retracement. That might be a bit too rich for my blood at the moment. There goes QTEX. It is ripping through the highs into 210. So this one's really going here. Shout out to Buvin. I didn't get a chance to set up on this one quite yet. Let's see how it deals with $2, okay? Last but not least, NTLA, also looking quite good here. And this is up about 15%. It's not a big mover. It's an okay spread. I've seen it as wide as 5 or 6 pennies. It does tighten up to 2 and 3 at times. 1406 high, respectful of trend, as you can see. Nary a breach of the 10 EMA on the 5. And for the newer viewers, when I say 10 EMA on the 5, I mean the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart, which will always, underline that, always be green on my black charts. So this line is the one I'm talking about right now. And I use that line often as a trend following line. Trend following system is what I'm trying to employ there. So those are the ones that I'm looking at. I'm looking at ARQQ as well. GMM tried to get back above the WAP. It failed. And RGNT is fighting with that $4.50 area where VWAP is. It's also doing its darndest right now. Let's see if it's able to recover, Joey. Oh, yeah. Oh, it looks like we're going to go to see at the big desk.
Thank you so much. Today's ticker that we're talking about is FreeCast. It was surging pre-market, almost up 220%. Well, now the stock, while I was preparing this segment for you, was 175% up. Now it's surging 186% and on the up and up. Let's take a look at a bit of the fundamentals and what's going on with this ticker. So the company milestones, during the years that the streaming services had launched, the landscape had began blooming. This company had basically pivoted its product line towards aggregation. It also recently launched its DirecTV deal. DirecTV is one of the most recognized entertainment names in the United States. We'll take a look at its financials. It's a little bit low, but you'll be surprised how good this company, this ticker, is doing right now. Revenue for the recent quarter came in at just $92,909. Net loss at $4.53 million. Cash flow just at $119,000 region, around the 300s. Deficit of $205.4 million, and yet this stock doing so well. But despite these financials and numbers, an analyst thought, you know what? I see potential in the stock, and they gave the stock a buy rating and a price target of $6. A little bit of this history about the stock, that it opened during its IPO this year on the NASDAQ in March, just around 60 cents. Today, it's trading around $4.20. So the real test that I'm seeing with this story is that if they can convert these paid subscriptions to actual revenue, or will this just be a story for today? Sending it back to you.
All right, yeah. Let's see. Do you want to go over that trade that you just put on, and then we'll get into the super chat here? You're good.
Yeah.
All right, man. Good stuff. Paula Anderson, let's pull up that super chat here. Hi, Joe. Can you let me know your thoughts on exercising NVDA 185 calls June 18th expiry? You paid $19.90 for them, so $2,000 versus selling the option around $650 now for profit. Thank you very much. Now, if you're going to exercise it, you have to understand that you need to have the capital within your account in order to do so, because then that means you want to own the underlying asset at $185. And with that being said, Paula, I think that's a good idea. I mean, NVDA at 185 isn't a horrible price, considering we're trading above 200, 211 right now. So you grab $30 ITM, and you're right in the middle of the range. So you can most definitely exercise it. You just need the capital, or you could just lock in that contract, like you said, for $650, which isn't bad whatsoever. That's a good start to the week. I don't know if you want to be a long-term shareholder of NVDA, and if that's the case that you do want to be, then by all means, feel free to exercise it and be the rightful owner and a big-time owner of 100 shares minimum. At $185, so that's what we want to see. That I would love that. I would personally, if the capital was there. But for me, that'd be a lot to allocate to one specific name at that price, right? Diversified.
Concentration risk, yeah.
Pardon me.
Concentration.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, I actually got out of Trashflix this morning. Yeah, I'm like, you know what, man? We were sitting in this for some time. It didn't do what I wanted to do. So see you later. AC Slater to Netflix.
Get it,
and we're
Joey.
going to put our money into some other things that have been working.
What are you going to put your money into, Joey?
JPM. Like, come on. I've been talking about JPM. I've been talking about Google for quite some time. And then also some Walmart. So I like every single one of those names. Hey, listen, I think Netflix will have its time in the sun, just not right now. All right? It's going to take a little bit. There's just so much more in vogue right now than some of these streaming names. And with that being said, it's just dead money for me personally. I sat in it. I'll tell you exactly when I bought this bad boy.
When'd you buy it, Joey?
I'll tell you right now, Sharif, my brother. And it's been a while, actually. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Hey, yes,
been a
great
while.
minds
Yeah,
think
man.
alike. That's what I
Yeah.
want to hear, man.
It's been a while, man. I
been a
can't even
while.
find here on the chart exactly when I did, but it was around $100 or so. So I'm like, okay, you take a little bit of a loss. I put 10K into it. I take somewhat of, I think it was like a couple $100 loss on it or whatever it was, and then it was just, see you later. Let's put our money to something that's working and that's more in play. And I want to buy more Google. I want to buy a little bit more TKO. Shout out to Dana White and Company for putting on yesterday's event.
You need to go through a thorough review of how that was yesterday.
It was really good.
The chance to
It was
watch
very
it,
good.
yeah.
It was very good.
Pay-per-view?
No, it's Paramount doesn't have O'Malley to TKO, the Canadian, unfortunately. And then I had Ilya Topuria to KO Justin Gaethje for a cool 800. But I was up all night watching it, and let's just say Ilya Topuria got served a big humble pie there, Sharif.
He eats pie?
Yeah, and a humbled one at that, my friend, because he took a butt whooping. That's and someone who's highly confident. But aside from that, guys, I hope everyone had it was a spectacular event in my opinion, fantastic stuff. But really, let's get back into things. Why do I want to buy JPM? Look at this big gap up, and we were talking about it in the low 300s. I believe it's lagging its peers. So you have Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs putting in all-time highs right now, and they're up 2%.
Did you say Goldman Sachs?
No, but that's a good one.
That's what I swear to God what I heard right now.
Goldman Sachs, yeah, Goldman Sachs, right? That's a pretty good one. Maybe we'll call it that from here on out. But other than that, right, guys, you're up 2 1/3 here and almost 2% in some of these banks that are at all-time highs, and we're relatively flat and then yet to put in a new all-time high, which we're still down about 5% off of, right? Like 5 and a fifth. So I like this name. I think it's only a matter of time until we hit all-time highs, and then it's Robinhood as well. Like, we've been holding on to this. We averaged in, but there's a lot going for it. PDT rule. And then obviously being one of the underwriters here within that SpaceX IPO. So there's going to be a lot of transaction fees. And what we want to see is it's decoupling from Bitcoin. I haven't even, listen, there's been such a major rotation in my long-term portfolio, and I'm happy about it because look at Bitcoin. I've been selling this thing for quite some time. I am still holding on to about 30% of my whole position, which I'm comfortable with. I just had too much exposure in this, and it wasn't doing anything. And we talk about opportunity costs quite often.
Bless
and
you,
it was Netflix and Bitcoin that were holding back my portfolio big time. And was I rushing to get into anything? No. We allocate things slowly, and then we DCA into because it's a long-term outlook. And then sure enough, things are working. I'll average up as well, too. So I have no issue with sticking with names that have been strong for us.
I like it, Joey. Sound advice, I think, and obviously, I think it kind of goes without saying that we hope you print up several of those storms where money falls randomly from the sky and then a big dollar bill flashes in, ends the animation there. QTEX, above in, it's failing too. Okay, so we had a nice little dalliance here with QTEX up 52 and change, but unable to hold two now. I don't think that ends the matter. We're still above the volume weighted average price, which I believe is a low 90s, $1.93, $1.92, whatever, okay? It's in and around that area. What I'm watching more specifically for is a defend of the two area. I don't mean a strict $2 right at the level hold. I mean a general area and then show me a retrend back up. Watching the 5-second chart as I typically do with these small cap gappers, and this is what we're seeing. You're seeing a bit of a foundation form here, a base, so to speak, at $1.96, which is above VWAP, but below 2. We're gonna continue to watch QTEX here. We had a couple of good trades on it. We have the high of the day into 35 on this one, correction. The high of the day is 36, so we got 1 penny below the high of the day. But I want this to set up in a little bit of a better way. Now, it's in the midst of doing that. As I mentioned, it's generally holding 2. But I want to see a little bit more. Now, here's the deal. I perceive an interesting area of resistance between 210 to 215. If we can clear 215 and clear it quite decisively, that would embolden me a little bit more to get back in, despite the fact that, you know, we're still dancing with that $2 area. So QTEX in focus for me over here. Nothing to do other than to hang out and wait. Now, this one is going to lose its spot on the side chart, GLXG. It's failed miserably. Now, there's some of you in the chat that are really good at picking these ones up below the volume weighted average price at key levels and then riding it back into VWAP. Again, if you're a newer viewer, this really elongated horizontal white line on my black charts will always be the volume weighted average price, which is a key indicator that a lot of traders, including myself, use. So keep your eye out on that when you're looking at the black charts, and I often refer to it as VWAP. Sometimes I'll lovingly call it the WAP, but you know, not as much, Joe. Yeah. But GLXG, it's losing trend, and it's going to lose me as an interested trader. RGNT continues to try to fight with this rounded bottom off 3 3/4, and it's dancing here with 4 1/3. It's cleared 4. It's still suffering, though, from this affliction of trading below the volume weighted average price. Again, that white line on the black chart. So continuing to watch that, looking for an interesting area there. But I got to tell you, as Neil mentioned to end out the morning show, the Russell 2000 is, well, it's the least best performing major average on the day. So I know the IWM is not a major average, it is an ETF, but it's down less than 1%. Sorry, it's up less than 1%, 0.95. Juxtapose that to the triple Qs, which is ramping into 3%. You got the SPY 1 3/4 and the Dow 1 1/3. So very much lagging behind our small caps. Makes sense, right? Especially with the headline yesterday. So I need to be a little bit careful here, knowing that perhaps maybe today is not the small caps day, and that influences your trading in different respects. It should influence your sizing, right? As well as your expectations for something to run. Last week or the week before that, we were seeing things get above 5, and immediately, if it cleared above 5 and did it decisively, my thinking and my bias was to 10. When are we going to get to 10? I don't know if that same thinking can hold up today, but maybe there's one or two that run. Continuing to watch here, QTEX. It's back above that technical level I was articulating, 210 to 215. It looks like it's a decent hold here, Bovin. Bovin also saying SABS. Can only focus on one thing at a time, but I did see SABS move. Here's 215 on QTEX, looking for continuation, not getting it. Going to continue to pack the patience and see what we get. And while you're looking at that, you can look at SABS, which is a little bit of a lower volume name, 415 high on SABS. Looks like a flat top break waiting to happen, Joey.
All right, man, good stuff. Full disclosure, I am in a position 172.30 roughly is my average price as SpaceX failed to put in a new high with the market screaming. Be careful, man. This name's now worth 2.2 trillion, and it's probably going to move like one of those heavier weighted caps. A lot going on, a lot of transactions, but look at goggles, holding trend. I wanted to get in at 368. I could have. Did I pull the trigger? No, because we're messing around here with SpaceX. So we'll be patient to see if volume weighted average price holds. And then I think that's going to be a good opportunity for us to add a little bit more shares, just in case it wants to do a liquidity grab and then continue on the northeast path. Now, as for Robinhood, a strong name. Do we want to stick with strength? Absolutely. Hold VWAP, especially at this support level, 99.40s, and then maybe you can catch the top end of the range for a scalp. But there it goes, a nice little bounce here. Yeah, go ahead.
Gotta interrupt, sorry, brother. Okay, 2 breakouts right now happening as we speak. Sorry to interrupt, Joe. RGNT, shout out to Grunfeld, ripping into almost $5 here. This has recovered below VWAP. Watch for the turn, though. Yeah. This one has a tendency, or these names have a tendency to put in a lower high. RGNT and BTQ. BTQ just ripped off that 540 into 580. That's a new high a day, and that's the completion of bull flag number 2. You get bull flag number 1, breakout 930, shorter period of consolidation, about 20-25 minutes. This one was much more prolonged. You got the breakout 955, and then the second breakout 1122. So almost an hour and 25 minutes of consolidation on BTQ. Watch out for those ones, but they're looking pretty good. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I was going to head over to small cap land here as well. But what I want to do is I just want to focus on this trade. We got a whole lot of dark pool wicks, guys, so too many for me to correct at this point, so I'm not going to. But what we will do is we got a nice little bounce. We can post up at a lower price at 172.40s, but I was going to take a look at SABS, not necessarily doing what I wanted to, and cast. Listen, let's just continue with this. Day 2 of SpaceX, you're up 7 3/4 at this point. Am I going to be adding into resistance zone? No, I don't think that's the logical thing to do. But what we will do, as I mentioned multiple times so far, is just wait for this lower end of the range like we did right here and like we did right there. We had that consolidation base earlier in the morning at approximately 10:19. I was like, okay, we're in at a good spot. We're at the lower end of the range. We broke through, we had some volume, and I'm like, all right, let's just add a little bit, because we typically don't average down, but then when it has failed to hold that level and put in a new low, I'm like, all right, let's get out. But price action turned right around, and I said, not today. We're going to get right back in. We take some off right at the volume-weighted average price, which is correlating with the key support level, right? So I'm thinking over, under. I better take some off just in case this does act as some resistance, but it didn't. We form the base at VWAP, we add into the position, and then we take a little bit more off right now. I can do a transaction. There goes Google. I believe I'm going to try a long here on Robinhood, just in case this is a consolidation, and then we decide to break a little bit higher. North of $100 is totally feasible at this point, but what has been absolutely monstrous for us here now, the dip buy at 350 there in the long term, Sharif, only a small amount anyways, is on goggles as we're climbing to 372. Man, oh man, 13% to the downside. I had to get involved with it, and sure enough, there we go. We established a new high of the day. It's unfortunate that JPM just gaps up and then gives back the majority of that. But post up at VWAP here on Hood. We're still holding this for a consolidation hold at 171 for the potential add. But the ideal entry right here would have been around 368.50, and then sure enough, you have this wedge that's been forming and now currently breaking. So not too bad of a look whatsoever there, guys. Let's head over to our watch list and see how some of the other names are. We haven't looked at NVDA in quite some time. I know we hit around 210, 211 in the post market. I was keeping my eyes on it. Sharif messaged me last night. He's like, the market is ripping. What do I have to do? I'm like, brother, you know I'm watching UFC, but let's just see what we got going on right now with the futures. And sure enough, we had a massive gap up and then some continuation here today, but a nice hold of this 199. You just know that buyers are going to most likely step in at that whole dollar, that $200 marker here on NVDA. Now we're trading around 211. And who was it? Paula. Yeah, 185. Like, look where you're potentially just assigning yourself these shares. Right? Like right in the middle of this consolidation. I think that's a pretty good area. Obviously, the lower end of the range would be more ideal, but you're above some breakout zones, and there's support levels there backing you as well. So I really like that. 296 in Apple. We were down about 8% or so off of the highs, 9.6 to be exact. Goodbye. But I looked at this name, and I'm like, Google down 13% just like that? Let's get involved. 15 from peak to trough, so not too bad. And Meta has been dead money for your boy, but we're going to continuously hold out on this bad boy here, Sharif.
All right, man. Trying my hand here at RGNT. It seems to be setting up a flat bottom break pattern unless we can decidedly move above 70 pennies. And there's a seller on every single lower high. So this is what I'm talking about. This kind of descending wedge pattern with lower highs and that flat bottom in and around 450. We can't seem to shake the aggressive seller who puts sell orders, I want to say, in the high 60s, low 70s. There is a buyer that comes in, so we'll stop out there as it does lose trend. So shorts win out for now. Let's see if they win out for the rest of the day, because I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the clearing of 5 here. So we'll go 1 for 1 on the day here. RGNT stopping me out. No continuation as the shorts push this one a little bit lower. Let's keep an eye, though, on BTQ because we had a nice move up into 580. We're showing 566 now. Now, this one is a bit of a bamboozler for charting, not price action. And here's what I mean by that. So it's got kind of like this lower high setup right here, which made you feel maybe that the shorts were in control, but this is very much a bull flag, right? And we talked about how this is 2 bull flags, one at 930 that starts, and then the other one at 950, say 955, that starts with a prolonged area of consolidation. But this is a bull flag breakout. So realistically speaking, whether or not we get this, we'll have to wait and see, but we could be in store for a third bull flag into 580, especially with that $6 area in our purview. So why do I say this is a bamboozler? Because it was putting in these lower highs. So I don't really know where to pick this up off, right? Should it come down? Do I wait for the $0.50? Or do I wait for the areas where the closing prints couldn't get above? That 560 area looks pretty good. So where to pick up BTQ off an area of support, that kind of question is eluding me at the moment. I don't really have an answer to that. So I want to watch to see what the price action develops and looks like. And then if I like what I see, I'll get involved. But we'll have to wait and see if that one ends up manifesting. QTEX, I'm not liking the look of this one's jib at all. It is an unbroken lower high setup ever since we got that print at around 235. Area high here into 1110. Every subsequent candle with lower highs. But take a look at what they do have in common. The area low. They all seem to find support at $2, yet not enough support to be able to get you above the prior candle high. And that is what's telling here. So we could be in for a flat bottom break, especially if it loses that 2 to 195 area where the volume weighted average price is hanging out. Of course, referring to QTEX. Let's have a look here. Corey Marshall, 06, 499 super chat. Pavs, please take a look to see if it'll break out again. We'll have a look at PAVS for Corey as soon as we get back from SIA.
Thank you for that. This is coming in from Iran's foreign minister saying that there probably will be a meeting between the heads of negotiating teams on Friday in Switzerland. Just repeating, comments coming in from Iran's foreign minister saying that there will probably be a meeting between the heads of negotiating teams on Friday in Switzerland. They're set to sign the deal in Geneva in Switzerland on Friday. This is coming from CNBC. I read earlier this morning. So just an update on that. Keep an eye out.
Let's have a look at Pavs. It's up, I want to say more than 100% right now. But as you can see, it's really suffering here from a downtrend. Let's flip to the 5. About 95% it's up. So the only thing about this one, Corey, is that I could say is good news right now is it's holding that pre-market resistance level. I'm talking about, look at that 6:20 a.m. area. It couldn't really break through 40 pennies. In fact, it kept trying to break and then it failed. Then it kept putting these lower highs. Then lo and behold, 8 a.m. comes along and all of a sudden, you can't stop the bid. It rips through 40 pennies and gets up, I believe, into the pre-market high of 61.83. I'm talking pennies, not dollars, okay? But since that 61.83 high, Corey, we have been really, really bleeding here. PAVS doesn't have enough bids to take out prior area highs. So right now, it's got enough bids to keep it above that kind of 40 penny area or just around that 40 penny area. But what I need to see, Corey, is a decided break of this downtrend. I'm talking about like a move into 45, a move into 47.5, maybe even a little bit higher, just to know that number one, we're breaking trend, and number two, the sellers who kept making us put in lower highs, at least for the moment, they're caught offside here. And the longs may have them on the ropes, to use a fighting metaphor, obviously, with the event yesterday at the White House. So PAVS, not bad, but I think this one, at least for the minute or the moment, is past its prime.
You know who was there?
Who?
Your boy.
Hold on, why did you message me Zuck? What did he do?
Zuck was there.
Yeah, I know, but I thought he did something.
You know what he did? No, but you know what he did? A very kind gesture. So every blind veteran gets a pair of meta glasses. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do they help? Like, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because it can read things and like pick out their closing,
yes,
right?
yes,
so
yes,
it's just
yes.
like, hey, read what this is, and it can
I
just.
like that. I like that.
Your boy was there though.
Crawford?
No.
What?
Yeah, he was there,
was there?
and Connor was there.
And Conor McGregor?
No, Ben.
Connor Ben, yeah.
But also
he was
your other
talking
boy.
about Ryan.
Yeah, he's ready to go on that one. But your
talking
boy
mass market.
Tyson was there as well. You know what
Fury?
you know what he's doing?
See that hat he was wearing?
Yeah.
Trump for Prime Minister?
Yeah, Trump for Prime Minister. But he's signing, I believe he's going to sign
and
up
Joshua.
with no, but he's signing with Zuffa Boxing.
Hold on. I thought Turkey said that they were going to have this fight likely in November.
Yeah,
So it's going to be at multiple...
You should have heard this guy talking.
Who? Tyson?
Tyson, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's going to happen like at some point maybe in July, and then he's like September. And then it's
Was
like
he
the
drinking?
typical, no, just the typical boxing BS. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what was going on there. Dude, did you go to the Fan Fest?
Hold on, there's news here, Joey.
Oh, okay.
Iran's
talk to us.
foreign
Yeah.
minister, negotiation agreement implementation planned on planned on distrust, broken commitment, and past experiences. This is being reported by the Iranian state media. Let's go up to the big desk.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same comments here. If we get anything else, we will let you guys know. But in the meantime, we're going to talk here about a different region of the world, Europe, because the European markets just closed one. What can you tell us about it?
Thank you so much, Adara. So a quick one from me for the European close. Geopolitical breakthrough over the weekend, definitely European markets having a party, hitting some all-time highs as well. I mean, this peace dividend, it's sweeping through global equity stakes, and we see the stocks Euro 600, new all-time high at 638.53. Even the Euro Stoxx 50 also reaching new all-time highs, which is great to see. In Germany, industrials are surging, lower factory energy costs with all the crude oil premiums going down. France also looking pretty good, up by 1.84%, while only UK were the only ones in the red at the close, and that's probably because heavyweights like BP and Shell definitely plunging with the news of the Iran-US deal. Now, some of the things that we need to watch out for this week, of course, we've got the basically Bank of England coming in with some prints later on this week, so something to look forward to. And also, yeah, after reaching historic highs for Stoxx 600, that's basically erasing all the wartime losses, hopefully for more better improvement over the week for Europe.
Yeah, other than that oil weakness in UK, it sounds like a pretty good day for Europe. We'll have to see if that continues tomorrow and beyond. Thank you once again to One for being here with us for that Euro Close segment. Catch him at 3:30 p.m. for an update on the Asian markets.
All right.
Thank you very much for that one. Go.
All right, Sharif. Yeah, there we go. Guys, I told you that we've been in SpaceX from 172.29. We're still holding on that. We're almost going to print 174s. But what we did post up, like I mentioned, is at the lower end of the range on your boy Robinhood, so 99.60s, as this name's starting to climb a little bit higher for us. We're up 8% here on the day. It can load any minute here, Sharif, if it feels like it. There goes a strong uptick on Robinhood. Yeah, would have loved to take more shares. Post up at 99.60s. You can see that's our entry price, now printing $100.12, so not too bad of a look on Robinhood. Jesse, I hope you're having a good day. Everyone in the chat, we could do some roll call. Blicky's in the chat as well, and of course, we have Mike P. DeRider. So, Hangry Wife, I hope you guys all had a good weekend.
Hey, can you load up this HQ? It's on the NASDAQ, but I can't seem to load it up here.
On P?
Yeah, on work platform. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got it. I don't know why it wasn't loading, Joey. My bad. All right, looking at HQ over here. A bit of a spread on this one, 17 on the bid, quarter on the ask. It's holding trend. It comes into 15, AKA the 10 EMA on the 5. I'm going to give this one the old college try here. Yeah. Well, the JUCO try, as we call it sometimes, Joey. Let's see if we can get the print. The answer is no. I was trying to get the mid print there. Let's see if it gives me it. There we go. Good job. So we'll go ahead and just sit right below prior bar low, which takes us just right below that $15 area. So let's give this one a bit of a try here. See if we can ride this one into the trend. Let's go here. I'm just setting up some orders on this one. RGNT failed. It failed miserably. It lost VWAP, and it lured me in. I did get a quick scalp on this out, but this one will be a failing trade. So, yeah, we'll go 0 for 2 on RGNT. And that one, you know what, where that puts it right away, it goes on to Uncle Sheriff shit list right here. Look at this one, failing. It is going to halt down, limit down at 350. Wow, this one's bleeding its own blood. So for the newer traders, when I say limit down, that means that this is going to stop trading for at least 5 minutes if it reaches this $3.50 level. And that's what we call a volatility halt. And the exchange does that so that people don't pile in aggressively both to the long and to the short side, so that there's some measure of order, right? That's what we call volatility halts. I know we got a lot of new viewers in the chat, so for the more seasoned viewers, just I apologize for having to repeat basic concepts, but this is kind of we got a big audience here, Joey.
Yeah.
Right? So RGNT. Failing here pretty miserably. Gonna leave this one, let it do its thing, 25. There goes HQ. We got 21s. It's now showing me 40s Excellent. Looking for more. Let's put some beak wetters here just south of the $0.50 and then just north of the $0.50. You know, we're going to put 57s, Joey.
Yeah.
Right? We'll just put that, see what we get there. BTQ also could be an interesting area. That 560 area coming in as an interesting area of support. It was prior area of resistance at around 1015. This one could also be an interesting one here to weasel into. Be on the lookout for that. Shout out to Escape Planet. It's a good thing. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna help.
Whoa.
Go ahead, Joe.
There we go. Sorry, brother. I don't mean to interrupt you. But there goes the hooded one, Sharif, as you would like to call it. $100.46. So a big time breakout through the resistance zone. Now we need SpaceX to get rolling for us here, guys. But that's a big time breakout. Again, I didn't put as much size on this trade as I would have liked, but oh well. That's neither here nor there. We just execute on what we have. So we'll take a little partial above the resistance zone. But what we do have is a nice little dip buy at 99.60s right off of the support system. And then a big time bounce on Robinhood. SPCX, let's go over here. 173.89 with a key resistance zone right at this 174 marker. Tuesday, guys, don't forget, I believe this is going to start to become optionable, which is huge, I believe, for the market. This is going to be a name that will have a lot of volume stepping into it. We did have some space names on Friday with a lot of volume, but we're still going to be patient and wait for this. We're up 8% here on the day. We get this breakout on SpaceX, then we're really starting to rock and roll here on the day. There it goes, guys.
There
it goes, Sharif.
Hey.
174.42. We're long 172.29.
Get it, Joey.
Obviously, more shares would have been more ideal, but hey, happy to put this on for you guys. Let's send things off to Sia.
Yeah, just a couple comments coming in here from a U.S. official saying that Hormuz openings will take time because of the mines, and they have announced an MOU that has been signed with Iran. Senior U.S. official also saying that there will be a significant increase in traffic in the Strait of Hormuz starting already. And just another thing saying, again, from the senior U.S. official that the agreement ensures a prompt reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and a removal of the U.S. sanctions on Iran.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So there it is, guys. We take some more off. Unfortunately, guys, I won't be going through all these dark pools and removing them for you.
Aww.
So yeah, I know, man. I'm such a mean individual, I guess, Sharif. But I mean, it's a lot. I'm not doing that.
Do it.
Yeah, well, oh man, you should have seen me last night.
What happened, Joey?
You should have seen me last night, Sharif. I was in the fights. My boy O'Malley got us the KO. It was a good time, man. We had a lot of fun. But anyways, SPX here.
You were looking forward to this for a bit.
I was, man. I told you.
I know you.
Hey,
were,
listen.
bro.
I said, dude, I was gonna literally throw the kitchen sink on that main event, and good thing that I didn't because the guy that I was betting on took a butt whooping.
Come on, Joey.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Concentration risk, baby.
Yeah,
there's some applicable
big time, dude. Big time. Shout out to Josh Hokit as well too, the incredible Hoke. But what we have right now, yeah, Sharif, this guy's a character. What we have is Robinhood starting to come back into the zone. We have to be prepared to get a break even just in case it does come back to the lower end of the range. Super chat, Pavs, look again, says Corey Marshall. Sharif, you're in the small cap land today. We're trading some SpaceX. Did you want to take a look at
Absolutely,
Pavs?
and I did want to, I actually put it on the side chart, but I really want to warn you about something that I've been warning the small cap traders about for a long time. These are very interesting setups, right? When we have these very prolonged areas of downtrend, and then we get that monster candle to break trend. Now, one of two things, in my opinion, can happen here. One, we can get a genuine retracement to test the highs, or two, this could be a bull trap where either the shorts are covering or there's somebody buying to lure you in only to have it fail and then lose 38 pennies. Be on the lookout here for the latter, the bull trap scenario. Okay, I've seen a lot of these lately. They drag you in because they're up so big. You've been watching this one since the morning like, yes, this one is back. Time to pile into Pavs. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Be on the lookout for the loss of the 38 penny low a day. Now, having given you the bad news, let me give you my honest opinion of the good news. If we get and hold above that 50 penny area, I think we have a genuine opportunity for a high a day test that includes a pre-market high, which manifested at 815, which is 61.83. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for pointing it out. It's going to stay on my side chart. and we're going to keep a look on it. And then Bovin comes up clutch as he usually does, again with a halter to the upside. Bovin, CUPR halted $11.33, up 185 and 3.33% on the day, having done 33.5 million shares. CUPR is absolutely ripping, even though it is still well below the high of the day. I'm talking dollars too. 1133 halt level. As you can see, the high of the day is this gnarly looking double top in and around 1480. But this one is one that we already had eyes on. I didn't have eyes on it. I was in here on Friday afternoon. But this one was ripping in the pre-market and in the morning on Friday. So this is at least a day two play. And it looks like it spiked up a couple of times last week, but was quick to lose trend. So be on the lookout for that, because look at that. It spiked up, what was that, Thursday? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all 3 of those days, it spiked up and lost VWAP. Now, it did that again today, but look at it trying to make its move here. So halted 1133. Let's put this on a trading screen so we can take a gander at what the spread is on CUPR, as well as when to expect this one to resume. So halt time, 11:43:20. Earliest open, 11:48:20. What am I how do I know? I'm not clairvoyant, right? But the point is that volatility halts for the newer traders come in waves of 5 minutes at minimum, meaning sometimes it can be more. So you say to yourself, let me look at the time and sales. When was the last print that came in on the time and sales? And that's easy to see right there, 11:43:20. And you just add 5 minutes on top of that. But it could also be 11:53:20. We'll find out at 11:48:20 whether it will open or not. That's part of the fun of this game. We don't know when it's going to open, of course, right? But we know that it's going to be in waves of 5 minutes, so 5, 10, 15, etc. Right? And I do apologize to the experienced traders who have to listen to me rant about some of the basic stuff, but we got to make sure that everybody's following.
Sometimes you need a refresher, Sharif. I'm one of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you know all this stuff anyway, brother. But like, yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Yeah, so there it is, right back to the top end of the range, 7% on Robinhood. Ryan, brother,
what
yeah,
happened,
Derek
Joey?
I don't know why he was in it, but anyways, we can, yeah, the Incredible Hulk. Ryan, we'll get into this later. We're going to talk a little bit more about some stocks. Hopefully you cleaned up on that. Clue, what happened to you? Because I know where you are, so you said you got rinsed, but hopefully you cleaned up on some trading here today. Let's head over to our watch list and see how the Mag 7 are performing. Tesla holding on to positivity. You're up 0.6% roughly, but what we do have is 3 1/3 on NVDA. We have Apple up 2 1/10%, Google, same thing, 3 1/3, Microsoft 2 1/5, Amazon 3 1/3. Okay, so we're all in the same neck of the woods with that one. And our boy Meta, Zuckerberg and company up 5% here today. And then obviously AMD would be the one that's up 7%, putting in a new all-time high of around $558 here today. I heard Neil and Sean talking about DRAM. Let's see how that's been performing. Bang. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? 20% to the downside, and then immediately slingshots right back up. I think at this pace, you are going to continuously put in these new highs week after week, maybe even day after day. Day after day.
Day after day. Day after day.
I'm slowly drifting.
Oh, get it,
yeah, is that the one you're singing,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
Wave
yeah,
after wave.
Yes, oh, that's 100% wave after
yeah,
wave.
man, that's a big song. I actually listen to that all the time on my way to the gym. Fantastic weekend here in the city, aside from yesterday. Sunday we were outside Saturday we were outside all day. Yeah, on Sunday we didn't go outside, but Saturday we were outside all day, workout gym for multiple hours, and then just walking around the city. Did you go to the Fan Fest or no?
No, bro, I went to the game.
I know you went to the game, but Saturday the Fan Fest was for
on Saturday?
Yeah.
There was a bunch of different fan fests. I didn't go to them. I'm going to the game on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, who's playing?
Baby. Panama and Ghana.
Okay.
And then Ghana was disallowed, and a former Arsenal player, Thomas Partey, was denied entry into the country.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
because he's got some outstanding litigation.
Some
Arsenal dropped him
there.
because of that, by the way.
Oh, man.
Just 1 second, Sia. There goes CUPR. It is now unhalted, and it's on the way to $13. Shout out to Grunfeld. Shout out to Bovin. This one is ripping. You need to keep your eyes on this one. It's up 210%, Sia.
Oh, okay. No, it's all right. No, it's okay. No, that's okay. Go ahead.
All good? Okay. We're just going to read these 2 comments coming in from the U.S. official saying the next few weeks are indicative of the future with Iran, and also the details of the MOU will be released in 24 to 48 hours. The details of the MOU said to be released in the next 24 to 48 hour period.
For that. All right, guys, there goes Robinhood putting in a new high of the day. We're going to tap into 8%. We're going to piece a little bit more off here. It'd be ignorant for me not to. But yeah, Clue, honestly, I had 200 on Taporia and O'Malley for the KOs to pay 800. And man, we didn't get that last one, but that 800 would have been nice, man. Jesse, so I'm adding.
SpaceX going to take out all-time high.
Yeah, I'm already in this.
Get it, Joey.
We're in that SpaceX 175.50 on SpaceX here. What is our market cap on this one, do you believe now at this point? Don't look. You looked. I see.
I don't even have it on the watch list,
okay,
bro.
good. I was going to say.
I'm going to go ahead and say, look, it was 2.3 this morning.
Yeah.
And so it's probably at 2.4 now.
It's 2.292 right now.
Whatever,
trillion.
That shows you I wasn't cheating.
All right, man. I had a
wasn't.
feeling you looked.
I don't even have the watch.
It's all right, man. I forgive you. But other than that, man, good stuff here on SpaceX as we continue to climb higher. I mentioned time and time again, are we going to be buying it? But don't forget FIFO, first in, first out here, guys. I was buying at the lows, and as I slowly partial out, you're going to see my average price lift up a little bit. This would have been the ideal ad at 172.71 for that continuation moving higher, but that's not necessarily the position that we're currently sitting in. But what we do have is a nice run on Robinhood in this name as well. So let's break through that 176 marker, hit that all-time high. I don't know if we're talking about squeezing shorts out, but hey, $200 on SpaceX incoming. You didn't buy any yet, did you?
No.
Okay, yeah, same.
I know, I suck.
No, it's all right. Hey, man, what do you mean? You suck and opened up at 150.
Busy weekend. I couldn't even get myself organized at all, bro. Saturday was super busy.
Yeah.
Sunday was super busy.
Yeah.
Friday was just like, I woke up this morning feeling like it was Friday, like I was waking up from a Friday. Yeah, I was tired as hell.
I was tired as hell.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'll take that any day, though.
I had a question for you. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
You know what I found? That the city wasn't as busy on Friday as I thought it was going to be, because I took the bike in to the office.
Okay, so to your area,
yeah.
Okay, so the bottleneck from Liberty Village into BMO Field was a disaster. That's where my cousin came in. I was smart. I came in from the east. So I came in from front. So coming on past through Bathurst on front, and that entry was super easy to get into. No bottleneck there.
Yeah.
So it was easy to get in. But
why didn't you tell your cousin to train in my?
Well, because he's coming in from St. George and Bloor, where his office is. So he had to come in from like that northwest side.
Oh,
right?
man,
He did whatever he did.
Told him to hop on the bike.
I want to tell you something though.
Yeah, tell me.
An absolute disastrous organization by the city of Toronto. Yeah. And there goes SpaceX into all-time highs.
Let's go.
It is ripping 9 1/3, 2/3, and it's on the way to 10, Joey.
Damn.
We could see $180 on this one, maybe 200 by the end of the week.
2.3 trillion. We took some more off right there.
2.3. A trillion.
Finish your thought there, though, because I wanted to.
Very bad organization. So I go to Union Station, right? And there's umpteen amount of signs. Toronto Stadium this way, Toronto Stadium this way. They're funneling you onto the streetcar. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense, good. Because Google was telling me to take the train, the actual GO train for one station, which I thought to be stupid. So anyway, funnels me onto the streetcar. Does this streetcar not drop me off 2.5 kilometers away from the stadium?
No.
Yeah, and then you know what? I watched the streetcar go all the way to the end of the route there, right in front of the
But they made you guys all get off?
They made us get off. Why are you making us get off here?
I got a good explanation for this, Sharif.
Go.
Your girl Olivia was at.
She's a brilliant mayor. Excellent mayor.
She was at Taste of Italy, dude. I was literally she had her little stand, and I walked like behind her security, and I could have went like this. You know what that? You know how dangerous that is, man. Just
Yeah,
touch
well,
somebody
you know
on the
what?
shoulder.
I wouldn't want to touch her.
No.
Anyway.
But anyways, yeah, she's doing her job over there in the taste
Doing
of
her
Italy.
job, yeah?
Yeah, man. SpaceX is really breaking out here. I apologize. Our dark pool wicks aren't doing this trade any justice right now, but that's okay. We're in at those lows, guys. You see at 173.15. Now we're trading at 177.26. So a big time move. I'm not going to complain about my share size on this anymore, but we would have liked to have some more on this specific trade. This name is going parabolic. We're now at $2.3 trillion here, Sharif. So a big time move, surpassing a lot of names from a market cap standpoint. And we were talking about this on Friday. Just how the maturity in which this stock is coming to market
Well said.
is rare, right? But this thing's really going now, 178.
Joe.
Let's rock and roll on this bad boys, ladies and gentlemen. Dare I take my last little bit off? I think we can hold this for 180. Am I being optimistic? Absolutely, but why not? That's the world that we live in. Let's just manifest whatever can potentially come into play, but $4 here on this bad boy.
Yes, sir. Good look, Joey. All right, continuing to watch HQ here, looking for a bigger move up to test 2/3. But before we can get to 2/3, which is the high of the day, we got to clear that $0.50. I got 21s on. Here's 40. I'm looking for at least a glance at the $0.50 just so I can get an idea of what kind of resistance we're expecting at said $0.50. But it's quite slow. It's ascending very, very slowly. So I'm going to have to pack the patience on this one. It is no QTEX or CUPR. It's not the way it moves, and it's going to require, at least during the midday, some more patience than I typically like to have. Anyway, CUPR halted down according to everybody, but it's now reopened. So let's look at Cupper over here. What's the local area high? Well, that's not the prior bar. Well, it is a prior bar, but there's a halt in between. 1284 local area high with an intraday high of 1480. Can we get above 13 so that we can make an aggressive move and test that $14 area? We'll find out. But right now, it's trying to hold above $10. It's zigging, it's zagging. I don't have a read on this. As such, I stay away. Let's see if it clears 13. I'm going to be watching for that. So CUPR in focus. Let me just load up my watch list over here because it's not updating. There we go. CUPR back in the update list. Continuing to watch HQ, now showing me 42s. Good look. Looking for that $0.50 test. Nothing to do quite yet. Got forced out of BTQ. I feel like I gave this one less room than I typically would have, given the price action and how it's moving. So I got pushed out for a very small loss, but I'm still interested in getting back into BTQ. I need to mention one thing though about it, is that BTQ has these sudden spurts of price action and then goes dormant for a prolonged period of time. Case in point, look at that 930, boom. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. 950, boom. Consolidate, 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 consolidate. You see where I'm going with this? 1120, boom.
No.
Consolidate, 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 consolidate. Okay, so point is, you gotta get in here for the bigger move. I don't think the move on BTQ is to get in subsequent to the move. I think you're probably going to have to DCA aggressively, and I don't know if that's going to fit your risk appetite. So BTQ, keep your eye out on this one. Sha Oil, 94, 90, 49, 48, UBXG. Let's have a look at UBXG for, I'm not even going to try to say that name again. I suck, man.
Yeah, try it.
No. You're trying to get me in trouble, bro.
Oh, no, sorry. I don't know what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, it's up nicely on the day, 20.5%. I don't like the price action, Joey. Hold on. The line of the VWAP here is like the line of best fit. It cuts through the heart of the price action. I don't see trend on this one. Sorry.
All right, the all good, man. We're having a good time here. It's Monday.
it,
It's every bit Monday, as you would say, Sharif. There it goes. Robinhood to the new
Reddit
high
is
of the
ripping.
day. It is Reddit.
I don't know what
ripping.
the hell Reddit is doing, but it's ripping.
on one right now.
Yeah,
Shout
it's
out
on that good
yo,
stuff, Joe.
listen, okay, so I got a lot going on in my mind right now. I'm gonna get it out one by one. I'm gonna try to at least. Here it is. Here's Robinhood. We put in a new high of the day, now north of 8%. But look at this beauty sell here on SPCX as it comes in aggressively. We were fortunate enough to catch a top tick on this bad boy, and then bang. Once again, our dark pool wick's not doing any justice, but I'm like, you know what? We had that strong up move and on volume as well, so let's get this out of here. And we take our last little bit out at 78, and I can already buy it back $3 cheaper. Let's see if we get a VWAP test. I think that'd be a pretty hefty and a deep pullback, and then you might not get any continuation after that, but anyways, I like that move there on SPCX. SpaceX heading back to Robinhood as we are up 8% on the day. I had something else that I wanted to mention, but I think it's irrelevant at this point. Google, okay, Google's looking pretty good. If there's any specific names that you guys want to go over, please put it in the chat, tag Sharif and I, and also do us a solid, hit the like and subscribe. If we can do this here, Tiffany, I see that we have our top supporters on the board here behind us. If we can get a zoom in on that, shout out to Dragos. Dragos is continuously doing this time and time again, and you know what? Our good friend from Chicago, putting in a $100 super chat. The top supporters there, the high trader with $53 and another $50 super chat. There it is, guys, our top supporters of the day. And you know, Adam James, brother, you got to stop sending us all those carbs in that pizza as much as we love
Ridiculous.
it. A salad or something maybe potentially on that. No, I'm obviously being sarcastic, man. We're extremely thankful over here. And thanks to every single one of the supporters of this channel. Do Sharif and I a solid and hit that like and subscribe. We don't ask for very much. We used to say that a lot more often than not, and we haven't said it in a while, which gives us believe it gives us the privilege to do so. You glossed over Reddit? Have a look. Absolutely. I will stop glossing over Reddit, and we'll actually take a look at that name. The launch bell rang, in case anybody was curious about that. I'm pretty peckish myself, but hey, let's see what we got going on. Let's head over to the 5-minute time frame on RDDT. Any specific news on this bad boy? We can figure that out right now. And here's why Reddit price up. Here's why Reddit.
Yeah, just before we go,
momentum.
can I cover something, please?
Did you have something?
Yes, I do. So I just have to explain to the newer viewers in the chat, the black charts are my own platform. This is Interactive Brokers. This is my platform where I have my own money in. So I'd rather you not see my account number for obvious reasons. So this is a simulator. When you see the black charts, it is a simulator. When you see the white charts, this is my work platform. We work for a proprietary trading firm. This is live. I hope that explains it to the newer viewers in the chat. Do you have anything?
I was gonna say there's nothing on Reddit since 9:50 here today, guys. Other than that, it's that lunchtime hour, so we're gonna send things off to Adara. Or Sia, sorry.
Thank you so much. We're going to start by taking a look at the three major averages, the SPY, the triple Qs, and the DIA. The Dow Jones, all three in the green. SPY up almost 2% on the day. The triple Qs up 3.15%, and the Dow is currently up 1.38%. Let's take a look at some stories for right now. We're going to get a deeper look into the Fox buying Roku for $22 billion. We were discussing this speculation of what is this headline with Roku on Friday. Yesterday, couldn't figure that out. There was nothing definite, but this is it. Fox has said it's entered into a deal to acquire Roku for $22 billion. A combination will be merging Fox's sports and news networks, as well as its free ad-supported stream called Tubi with Roku, which will be making streaming devices and has the Roku channel. The deal is expected to close in the first half of the year 2027, and Fox will be acquiring Roku for $160 per share, which will be in a cash and stock transaction. We're going to talk about Salesforce as well here, buying AI customer service platform Fin for $3.6 billion to boost agentic offerings. Acquisition will help accelerate Salesforce's agentic offering in an increasingly competitive environment for autonomous tech. It is its largest acquisition. its largest acquisition was more than $27 billion deal for chat software that we all know and I love, Slack. It's Fin's primary offering also, just for information, is an AI agent that's capable of resolving chat, email, WhatsApp, text message, phone, as well as certain Slack queries. And the agent is powered by its proprietary AI model, which is called Apex. Finally, we're talking a little bit, just recapping, SpaceX is up currently almost 8%, am I right? Almost 9% on the day. It jumped 19%, as we do know it, on Friday. Stock closing at $161 after being priced at $135 per share. That put the company's market cap above $2 trillion. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, posted on X on Sunday that the company might be able to approximately reach $1 trillion revenue in 2030. SpaceX has reported an $18.7 billion revenue in the year 2025. But CFRA on Friday has initiated coverage of the stock with a sell rating and a 12-month price target of $115, which is nearly a 29% drop from Friday's closing price. That's all for your happening now. Sending it back.
Fantastic stuff. Neil is not here, Sharif. He had to attend to something, so yes. I will be covering for Neil in the latter half. So get more of this smile. Sorry to...
Get it, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to disappoint you all, but being sarcastic. I'll never do that again. But yeah, it'll be Sean and myself from that closing, Joey substitute, man, that's for sure. From that 2 till 4 o'clock hour. Other than that, guys, let's rock and roll. We're still sitting in this Robinhood. We're looking to re-engage in this SpaceX trade. It's been good to us throughout the intraday session. A nice move on this, but we may as well hold on to this Robinhood position as we are now trading around $101, just a little bit south of that. Joey, the marathon man. Yeah, no, it was a last minute thing.
But you can actually run marathons. That's the funny part about it. Yeah, can't you?
I've never ran one.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and I don't know if I
You're
could.
pretty good at running, though.
Running's my thing. To be honest with you, you know what the longest I've ever ran was?
What?
Like 15 kilometers.
Okay, so that's not even that much more than me. I did like 12 and that 12 and a half is my max.
Yeah, and
I mean, and that's 15. By choice too, because I just get bored.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, is that what you just kept going?
Yeah, and like I did 12 and a half because my buddy was there. Otherwise, I would have stopped. Right?
You would have. But you keep pushing.
I don't like cardio. I find it to be, it's catabolic.
Okay.
Right? So just like to me, it's like I just do it begrudgingly. Right?
That's all right.
Anyway,
12 is good, man.
12 is okay. 12 is okay. It's definitely not.
I would love to try 25,
it's not an elite
man.
level at all, but whatever.
It's definitely not. 15 kilometers, what is that in American? That is a great question. Probably like 8 point something miles.
Is it 1.7? I think the conversion is 1.7, 1 point something like that.
American.
All right, guys, let's get down to business here. HQ coming into the half dollar now showing 48s. We got 21s. I've been trying to be patient with this one. I want to see what kind of resistance levels we're going to get now that we're around that half dollar, right? Because we know the half dollar is that staunchy area, always the half and the whole, right? Staunchy area of support and resistance. We'll see how this cookie crumbles, but I need to bring your attention to one that really jettisoned this morning and that was moving all last week, VSME. Now, a lot of traders on the floor got caught up in this one, and you had some that made money and you had some that absolutely got rinsed. So this one has a bit of a checkered reputation. And it didn't really do much after the 10th. Didn't do anything on the 11th, 12th, so Thursday, Friday were kind of dead days. This morning, it caught an aggressive bid right at 4 a.m. The low of the 4 a.m. candle is 219, the high is 420, right? So $2.01 worth of range, but it is ripping up right now, I believe. Is this halted up? VSME, dumbass. Not R. Why am I hitting VSMR? Come on, SSE. Cut me a break, man. Here we go. Now this one's opened up. It's right at to the high of the day, 364. I need to bring your attention to two different levels. One, the 505 area high is 375. And then, as I mentioned earlier, right at 4 a.m., that is the pre-market high. That's exactly 420 on the dot. So VSME here, very strong intraday, and it is ripping right now. Oh, my days. VSME. Maybe I can type this on right here. Into 468 we go. Let's see, does this one retrace? I got to give you some levels right now. So VWAP at around 320. Okay, current bar low is 323, so right around the $0.25 right now is the quarter bar low as this one really starts picking up steam to the high side. And as you can see, people taking profits into that 2/3. Let's see if we can get to 4. While we wait for that, let's send you up to Adara.
Let's talk here about the market. Just be aware, President Trump speaking with Emmanuel Macron, leader of France, and they're at the G7. He is talking about the deal with Iran. He's saying that the strait will be completely opened as of Friday. They're already partially open. So President Trump praising this Iran deal. Just be aware he is speaking. If we get anything of note or stuff we didn't know before, I'll let you know. Back to you.
There goes VSME into an area high. This one's really picking up steam here. Looks like there's a buyer locally here at 2/3 of a dollar. Let's see if this one can price spike up a little bit higher into 75s. Very good strength here. So I got to give you updated, well, not updated quite yet because we still haven't opened the 5-minute the next 5-minute candle. That will open up in about a minute or so. Let's see if we've got the juice to take out 3/4. Seller locally at 75. Not surprised about that because we gave you guys that level earlier. There was a 5 a.m. spike into around 375. Let's see if we can take out those sellers and kind of make our way back in. 350 coming in here. Do we hold the $0.50? Let's see if we can kind of hold up the $0.50 and then mosey on back into area highs. So let's put in some orders here. So my move, I will have to give this about 3 1/3. Now that does pose a bit of a problem in terms of risk here. I didn't get in a big position, nor here, so we've only added, not a lot, but we're looking for this one to hold up, okay? 375 resistance, and that's exactly the high of the day right now, showing 60, 63. Let me flip to the 5-second chart so I can spot local areas of support and resistance. So can't quite see yet. So there's definitely a $0.50 buyer for now. But we've also got lower highs, so that does concern me. 68 seller, can't shake the 68 seller to get into 69. No continuation. There as it is 70, 75, breach a high a day. Answer is no. Rejecting right at 75, so that's now a double top that we're forming. We're gonna have to shake that 75 seller, otherwise it's gonna be trouble. So let's continue to wait now. Let's go and post at 77s. Let's post at 85s. Let's see what we can get there. We got 64s on, so we're by no means out of the water, especially with that 75 seller still coming into the 4 here, Joey. What are you looking at, brother? Oh, hold on. There goes HQ into the high of the day, 75. We've got 21s on this one. Totally negated this trade because I was focusing on the other. Got good shares on this one. Let's take some out here. What do you got?
All right, guys. Huge shout out to Fast for sponsoring today's video. They just announced a massive partnership with AutoBrains and NVDA to bring level 4 agentic AI autonomous driving to life. We are talking next-gen intelligent tech that is completely redefining how we hit the road. If you want to see what the actual future of driving looks like, click the link in my description and check out VinFast today. All right, guys, there goes, man, we missed that dip buy opportunity on SPCX. Are we gonna get it again? I don't know. There's a nice hammer candle above the volume weighted average price. This thing's just moving different, to be honest with you guys. Here it is. You have that aggressive selling, strong downtick, but then you print this hammer candle. So what we have here is you open up at 175 3/4, you push all the way down to 173.5, and then buyers push price right back up. And I think it's only a matter of time until you start to see a new high of the day. So we did miss that dip buy opportunity on one of our better performing names here today. But what we do have, everyone, is we've been going on about it, and you can see it on the board, is that we are long some Robinhood from 99.60s, currently trading around $175. So not a bad start whatsoever to today's session. Now, it's a little bit tougher of a look on the NASDAQ, on the SPY. If you are to the short side, I must say, as we put in new. Is this in? There was a couple of those. Actually,
I was about to ask you, was there any new?
Yeah, there was a heavyweight belt. So an interim belt there for the heavyweight division.
I feel like that's not the most popular division in the UFC.
The heavyweight?
No, right?
No, it's not, man.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, it's not. There's so many good divisions in the UFC. The 135ers are, the 135ers are really exciting. The 170s and the 185ers are really exciting as well, too. But there's the T-triple-Qs, guys. We're just hovering around. I wouldn't be looking for the short until approximately 2:30, 3 o'clock here this afternoon.
Bless you, Ray.
And then the question follows is how deep is this pullback going to potentially be? And we have this massive gap up, so it's a gap and go scenario that we're experiencing here in the SPY and in the NASDAQ. I think that you're going to find some form of a continuation. And watch out for this bad boy on the daily. I want to pull up Robinhood. We had it. So this is what we're talking about here, right? So you have this downtrend. And this downtrend is holding up to the tune of like you just essentially losing 50 to 60% of the value, especially if you were at the top buying. But then the downtrend breaks and you have a retest of that level. But what I was looking at earlier this morning is the open up above this key resistance zone of $93. Now, we can correlate that with our options chain to see if there's any form of high levels of open interest within that area. And now those specific writers are underwater. So let's head over to our options chain and see what we have on Robinhood for any form of resistance above us and potentially below us. So June 18th, the 19th is a holiday. So these are going to be expiring, guys, on Thursday. Don't forget, it's a shortened week. Keep that in mind. 12,000 contracts expiring on Thursday at that $110 strike price. I do believe that we have the ability to climb above that, but what we now have is these $100 strike price contracts with 27,000 contracts still open and 27,000 of them closed. Open and closed here today. So you are slightly ITM on these bad boys. At the money IV sitting around 81.1%. So not too bad of a look. Let's see if we can head up into that $110 area on Robinhood by the end of the week.
All right, but just taking a whole bunch of scalps here on VSME. It's got a lot of resistance. I was of the view that if we cleared the $0.75, then, you know, that kind of would open up the door to 4, but it ended up being just a perfunctory breach of 3/4, and then it headed right back down to 50 pennies. And here it is, it's at 50, it may or may not fail, 48, 45, 44, 41, okay, you guys get it. I've been out break even for the last remaining amount. Profitable trade though on VSME, pleased about that, displeased with the lack of continuity. But this one, I mentioned it right from the jump. This one made a lot of money for some of the traders on the floor here, but it rinsed a lot of people. It really depended on your view and how you approach this name. And look at it bleed its own blood. Man, I can just smell these when they're about to fail right now, Joe. You can just see the tape accumulation.
What's it smell like?
Rancid eggs.
Oh.
A failed breakout in the small cap world. Rancid. Brother,
I like that one.
So do I. Everybody loves that one, man. That's a special right there. But you know what else is special, Joey?
What's that?
The chart pattern on QTEX.
It looks like it's going to go. Oh, there's a high of the day break on this potentially, my boy. Thanks for pointing that out.
Go, my man. Yeah. I wouldn't even take credit. It's your boy TT Mass who's been talking about QTEX the entire day, so shout out to my man. TT there. TT. Ooh. You trade small cap. No, but seriously, QTEX over here with a 236 high, showing 218s right now. We're going to keep an eye out on this one. President Trump finishing comments to press at the G with Francis Macron. All right, sounds good. Shout out to Mr. Macaroon over there. We'll have to see, you know, if he serves any macaroons after the.
Like macaroons. You didn't tune into the event at all yesterday?
Which one?
The 250 Freedom, man. Freedom 250.
Freedom 250?
Yeah.
Oh, for America's birthday?
Yeah.
No. That's President Trump's birthday. America's birthday is on July 4th.
It's Trump's birthday.
All right, we're going to go to Sia just momentarily here for small cap recap. But Assassino, we got to let them know before they go that QTEX is on the move here with a 236 high, showing the $0.25 right now. Did this one make your small cap recap, Sia?
What is that? QTEX? Unfortunately not. I do have some interesting tickers for you today. First, okay, wow. I'm gonna give myself a this, and then we're gonna talk we're going to talk some individual tickers, but currently IWM up on the day 1.2%. First ticker that I do have for you is JBlue. We do know about is up almost 11.5% on the day. They've waived charges and canceled fees on fare differences for customers that are traveling June 14th to and from some cities due to some severe weather in the Northeast. Next up, we have ABSI ABSI Corporation up 10% on the day. It's maintained by Guggenheim, just a rating, and LAES Seals Q Corp up 9.19%. This company is collaborating with WiseKey to create one of the world's first AI-enabled orbital security clouds. The launch marks the beginning of a multi-year deployment strategy that is expected to expand into a constellation of 100 satellites by 2033. And this constellation is expected to reach full operational capability by the year 2023. We'll also provide enterprise-grade services up from space. Sending it back to you.
I think this Forrest Gump guy, I think he's having a tough day, man.
Why, what's he saying?
Come on, Forrest Gump. Why are you all your little messages there are getting kind of held back because they're filled with vitriol. Brother, are you okay?
Maybe
go touch grass, have a walk, have a cup of water, do something over there because life is a lot shorter than stressing out over that kind of thing. You're yelling at people you don't even know in the chat. Brother, take it easy, man. Calm down. All right, Joey, what are you looking at, brother?
I'm looking at our boy Scott Tomlinson here on the chat. Let's see how he's doing, Sharif. I can see that both you and I are in this QTEX for the high of the day break. We're holding on to this. Forrest Gump, man, you gotta just take a chill pill. Hopefully you didn't lose too much on Freedom 250 last night, but it is what it is. Let's head over to QTEX as the market is slowly starting to come back in here, guys. Robinhood down to $100.33. But you know what your boy says?
What do you say, Joey?
Breakout or bailout, right?
Who says that again?
I don't know. It's CR.
I don't even know who that is.
CR, man.
That sounds like a made-up name, Joey, if you ask me.
Oh, man, now you made me hit the wrong thing. Man, now I'm panicking, QTEX. Oh, it's a disaster. If you pulled up my screen right now, you would see that I'm having an absolute horrid time. Oh, no, we're obviously being sarcastic. QTEX, we're gonna hit that on the net. Oh, man, you guys are doing me real dirty here today.
Yeah, Assassino doesn't miss a beat.
He doesn't, I think
He
that
will
was,
make
no,
you
that
feel
was not.
this big immediately,
Yeah, I know,
bro.
right away. But let's see if we can get
Assassino.
this breakout, Sharif. It's not looking too good right now, but what we want to see is this 210 level. We put on a couple of shares on this, nothing substantial, but about a half a risk unit. And if it doesn't breach through this high of the day, then that means it was in a failed established high, and I don't want any part of that smoke.
You don't want it.
Let's see, man. I got 228. Shreve's got $2.29.
What do you got on?
228? Yeah, 228.
You got better price than me?
I got a penny, man.
I'm going home, bro.
Going home.
I'm going home, man.
You're
You're gonna have to fill in for me and Neil.
Whoa, that's crazy, man.
I'll play. But Joey.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
You know what's moving here, Joey?
Hold on, let me guess. Robinhood.
No, come on. We're not ever talking about Robinhood, brother.
Obviously.
There goes HQ headquarters, baby. It is headed to the $16 area. I told y'all you had to pack the patience with this one. It was a bit of a slower mover, and there it goes into the day high, 1585. Sorry?
Poor's company's gonna. I don't know. I've never seen your name in here before, man. But you're on your way.
I kind of like him. I'm not gonna lie. I disagree with everything he's saying, but I like his gusto. He's got gusto, Joey.
Yeah, you can be green and be talking smack. He still says, called you a workout something though.
I don't know. I don't really care, brother. But like, I like his gusto. He's pumped up in the chat. He wants to take everybody on. Get it, poor man's Gump or whatever your name is there. But there goes HQ into $16. There's $16.05. Joseph options. We're holding from $15.21. Let's see where this one can take us into 04 as we go. Riding high here on HQ. We're almost $1 in the money. Let's see if this one can run through 16. Now, we haven't quite made it above 16 now. We do it on the bid and the ask. Into 16.12 it goes. That's a new high a day. Pack in the patience on this one. Not that this one's going to limit up or anything, but 17.30 flashing here is limit up. There's another high a day. Joseph options into 19s. Give me my money, man. Ooh. Give me the print, man. Come on, man. Oh, slow hands, man. I couldn't get the print there at 19s, and now it's topping tail. Let's go ahead and post. I'm going to post again here. Let's post at 17s. Nah, it's failing. I wasn't quick enough to get that. That sucks. I tried to get the high of the day. The spread opened up. 9s showing up again, but I don't think we're going to get that clean follow through into that 20 area again. So we'll have to pack the patience on that. Separately, QTEX, 10 pennies out of the money on this one, but I do want to defend this one into an area low. The area low for me is the 12-10 candle, the low of which is around 208. So keep your eye out on that. QTX fails below that 210 area, I'm gone. And then simultaneously, VSME has back, baby. 377 high with 360 here, looking to take out that $0.75 area. This has now spent 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going on 25 minutes here, defending after clearing the volume weighted average price. Don't forget that 420 area low, area high right at 4 a.m. could keep, us down below that level as the bag holders may be holding on to that area. So keep your eye on this one. I'm watching. Let's see how this one does, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know it's that deep. No, I think, man, you're literally complaining and worrying about something that you have no control over.
Who are you talking to?
Your boy, Porist. He's out of one right
Porist.
now. Yeah, Porist.
He's still going?
Yeah, he's still going, man.
Oh, he must have had a great day.
Yeah, he's having a great day. He said he's been green for weeks,
brother.
Man. Yeah, bro, just chill out, man. We're out here. We're sipping Java, as the folks would like to call it. But yeah, I mean, but there's Adam James. I haven't seen him this morning.
Oh, you need another
what's going on
booster.
with your boy QTEX? A booster?
I don't know, man. You need a booster shot.
I hit the Stone Cold. I didn't know who hit the Stone Cold there. That got me kind of excited. But there he goes again. That's crazy. All right, man. Just Usa.
I gotta start screenshotting this guy.
Yeah, just let him do his thing.
Brother,
right
it's
now,
not gonna allow your messages through.
Yeah, I
You're
know,
using
man.
all these trigger words that annoy Google. Like,
Yeah,
stop.
exactly. You just stop, bro. Just chill
I
out
think
a little bit.
we're egging him on a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh
more.
yeah. Pure rage baiting this guy. He's just losing it right now.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not sorry. Not sorry. But anyways, no. In all seriousness, guys. At what point are you thinking to get out of this this trade here? 215 potentially 210, but for sure out of Dodge. On QTEX, 68% to the top side. We might have to take a couple attempts on this bad boy to get going, but we also have to take into consideration that this might fail at some point, and I think that'd be giving us around that $2.10 marker. We had a nice strong move. As you see, we punched through this 216, which was a prior resistance, but it's not acting as support right now. What's he going on? Stop laughing, man. Why wouldn't you guys assume I'm...
is he so...
All right, man, we understand that you're green, man, but it's okay. Just take a breather. 217.
We gotta show some
we're giving
pictures.
we're giving this guy a lot of leeway here.
Sorry, Joey, I'm gonna message
ahead.
you a bunch of pictures. I don't mean to message them to you, but that's the way I'm
Is
gonna
that the
get them on there.
poorest? Is that the poorest you're sending me?
No, I'm gonna send you my
from Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
show some of the game pictures.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
video,
That was pretty
whatever.
cool. It was. You know what sucks
What's
though
up?
is that Toronto Stadium is what they're calling it now. It just looks the worst compared to all the
Okay,
other.
so before I show the pictures, I have commentary.
Yeah.
Joey, I really like the new addition of the seats. It
You like
looks
that?
very good
Does
from the
it?
inside.
Yeah.
From the inside, it gives it that complete stadium, full stadium. If the atmosphere was really good.
It was fantastic. I watched it.
Having said that, let me
Yeah.
say this.
Say it.
One thing they could have really improved on is the the stand stadium experience. What am I talking about? So if you're at the concession stand, you're picking up a drink, you're getting some popcorn, you get some food, you have no idea what's going on in the field because they got no screens.
They got no screens.
The Dome does fantastic. The Rogers Center, we call it the Sky Dome if you're from
Screens
Toronto,
everywhere.
right? You get your Toronto card revoked if you call it the Rogers Center. No, but seriously though, they got screens everywhere, right? So you never feel like you're missing any part of the game if you go to the bathroom or you go wherever, right? So that's where they needed to improve a lot on the sort of concession in-stadium experience. But the actual seats, the actual additions to the stadium, pretty good.
That's good. That's
Pretty
good. But that's only temporary.
Temporary, and that's what I was saying. I wouldn't be, I think that they should definitely do it permanently.
Yeah.
Permanently, absolutely. It gives it like sort of a world-class look. Having the north and the south end completely exposed with no seats, makes it look so amateur.
It does.
Inside and outside.
You know, you want to know the honest truth? And I was
What's
thinking,
that?
I was like, there's high school football stadiums.
That are better than that in Texas. Yes, exactly. I
You know what I mean?
I know.
And like, there's like college stadiums are definitely better than what we have going on. You want one, Jesse? I can give you one. I think
What happened,
He
Joey?
wants a timeout, man.
He wants a timeout.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
He's asking for one, eh?
we're getting an aggressive pullback here in Robinhood. I want to zoom out and see how the rest of the market is performing. We're still hovering around the high of the day, and I mentioned that, there goes SpaceX, 178.58. We should have re-engaged on that bad boy.
Look at HQ, bro.
Is it ripping?
1640.
Why can't you get QTEX to rock and roll here? No, I'm sorry. Sorry, Jesse. I ain't giving you one anymore, man. We all know what happened last time. But yeah, at some point we're gonna have to no breakout here, Shreve. So it's looking like we're gonna be out in bailout country here momentarily in QTEX if it doesn't start to turn around relatively quick.
Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
You want me to cover?
No.
No.
No, I don't care. I don't have it. Like it's nothing. It's not that deep. So, like porous, right? Like porous is shivered. It's not that deep. But yeah, we're still holding on to this, man. At some point, we have to get out of this trade. It would have been nice for a momentum move and a nice squeeze through this pivot at 227. $2. Sorry, I had to speak of these small caps like they're in. Like multiple $100s, no, the $2.27 marker. As you can see where we punched high. Now what we want to see is a curl over and then the momentum start to uptick. Can I add a little bit? Maybe if I see some volume step in at 220 and we make that strong push, I think that'd be a good opportunity to add some. But as of right now, the way the price action's looking, we don't want to do that. Let's send things off to Dara and Sia.
Start here with ABVX. Volume on this, a little bit lighter. Under 900,000 shares, so getting to that million share mark. ABVX, though, nice push to the upside for Abivax. Seeing some speculation that they could be having some encouraging data. Apparently, they presented some new data, or they posted some slides. Could be a good look there for ABVX. In the meantime, though, we're going to send it over to Sia for a segment.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Adara, for that. Currently, the SPY up by almost 2% on the day in the green. Let's take a look at the sectors for today. Electric tech in the green majority. We did see that tech stocks doing good today, but energy, however, falling down, oil falling down with that speculation of, well, not speculation. We did have that guarantee that the deal will be signed this Friday in Geneva in Switzerland by US and Iran. So with that, energy is falling heavily. XOM down 4%. CVX also down 4% almost on the day. Electric tech, we have NVIDIA, Apple, AVGO, MU all in the up. Micron is reporting next week as well. Another thing to remember. Tech services, we have Google up 3.18%. We had that announcement that Google has announced a $1.5 billion investment for 2026 and 2027 to expand its data center campus in Jackson County, Alabama. Then we have Microsoft up almost 3%, Meta up almost 6% on the day, Oracle, followed by Oracle up almost 6%. Netflix also up 1.27% on the day. IBM, however, sliding down 1%. Finance, mixed sentiment here, lot of flat, lot of green, lot of red. BRKB up, JPM trading flat, MasterCard, followed by MasterCard and Bank of America. We have producer manufacturing in the green, LRCX up almost 7% on the day, AMAT up 4.3%. Consumer durables is again a mixed sentiment. PG is up by almost 2%, whereas KO sliding down 3%. Consumer durables, we do have Tesla up 1.2%. Other sectors like utilities, transportation, health services are also a bit of mixed sentiment, but major focus does remain today in the energy sector, which is pulling down. All of the names are in the red. Health tech, not the best sentiments. Lilly trading flat, J&J down, ABBV down. But that's it. Sending it back to you.
Free Boris.
Yeah, man.
He's locked up. All right. Assassino, let's do this over here. Here we go. So, oh, hold on. Don't put it yet, Assassino. All right. Now we're good to go. All right. So this is the spot right here. So this is where my seats were, right at the 50. Like, this, I think these were the best seats in the house. I think that they were by far some of the best seats I've ever had. You'll see them in a second with me and my cousin over here. So this is my cousin and I right at the 50. I can't even pause this. There we go. So look, I'll show you the video in a second. Yeah. When we score, you'll be able to see sort of the new stadium. So look at this. So you're gonna see there's 4 screens now. All this over here all this. So when you see it pan, all that's new. None of this was here. So let's just pause it in a sec. None of this over here, all that, these boxes, this stands up there, all of that is new. And then all to the left is new as well. So it feels like it's a real big stadium now. It doesn't feel like this amateurish stadium from the field view. You go in the concession area, super amateurish. Not only kind of, you expose this and expose that, but the on-field experience, you're completely separated from that. You have no idea what's happening, but I don't think my seats on Wednesday are going to be nearly as good, but that's okay. They're not mine. They're my cousins, and it's free, so who's going to complain about that?
Free 99.
Guys, ARQQ ripping into area highs. I had this one up earlier on because it was a nice-looking bull flag. It did nothing for the better part of an hour and a half, and now it's just moving into the high of the day, 1837, showing 1830 now, ARQQ. The volume is super sporadic on this one, as you can probably tell from looking at the bottom right of the screen. Look at all these volume bars. Great, great, great. Then it just drops off a cliff, and there's no volume to be had, I want to say, for the better part of from 9:55 till 12:25. Look at these volume bars, man. Nary or very, very little in the way of volume. But anyway, ripping into an area high. Watch out for ARQQ. BTQ, this is the one that I got wrong a couple of times. We'll go 0 for 2 on BTQ, but I still think it looks quite good. Setting up for a possible breach of the 580 high a day. That is something to look out for there. NTLA, feeling very flat top breakish. I want to say the flat top is 14, but clearly we've been above 14 on the day, 1409 HOD. But let me make my argument to you guys. Yeah, we've been to 1409, but point out how many closing prints actually close above 14. There's only like a couple of there. This 1050 candle, then maybe this one over here that and it hasn't closed quite yet. So clearly there is a seller of note at around 14. Now, what keeps me optimistic that this could be a decisive claiming of the 14 are the higher lows. So kind of puts in that ascending wedge pattern that we talk about. You can also call it a flat top break if you want, right? Essentially where you keep getting that same area resistance only to reject off it. So that's NTLA for anybody who's interested there. Adam, read the supers. Sorry, brother, I missed them. Fan funding, let's go. Let's bring it in. Adam, James Abroad, Sharif, HQ, all-time highs, price discovery mode, and RGNT halted up. So I think we did pretty good here on HQ. Obviously, we could do a little bit better. We got 1645 there, not the greatest print. It's not bad because it did end up going to 1670. So technically, we could have done a lot better. Not a lot better, but better. RGNT, let's take a quick look at that. Do I still have that up at trading screen? I do. It's right here. Halted to the upside. Uh-oh. Joey, we can't trade this. It's halted at 666.
I see. Oh.
It's halted at 666s. $6.66 halt at 12:32.49. This is on the Amex network, so we will have no idea what the theoretical auction price is. That is the tap, and you'll always be able to see it right there on my screen. So what do I mean by that? So the tap, guys, for the newer traders is a theoretical auction price. And when these stocks halt, the exchange doesn't just take a break from doing their job. Just one sec, Joey. Just explain the halts. So what they end up doing is people continue to send buy and sell orders during the halt, with a market on open a limit on open for both buy and sell, or market on open, to be fair. So what the exchange does, it takes those buy orders, it takes those sell orders during the halt, and it tries to pair them. And then it gives us a buy side or a sell side imbalance. So we figure by the tap that there's either more buy orders coming in than there is sell orders during the halt. And that imbalance is reflected in the theoretical auction price. So when we have a NASDAQ listed name and it halts, we're able to see what the buy side or the sell side imbalance is during the halt. That gives us a better understanding of where this one is likely to open. Is it likely to open down or up? So that's something to keep in mind. Now, that's only going to happen on one exchange and one exchange only, that is the NASDAQ. So if you're trading a stock on the New York Stock Exchange, the NYSE, or the Amex, you're not going to be able to see that. So we call that flying blind. In any event, just before we send it to Joey, 12:32:49. It is 12:38 right now. The earliest this one will be open was supposed to be 12:37:49. That obviously has come and went, and we didn't open, Joey. So I don't anticipate this one to being ready quite yet.
All right, man, good stuff. Yeah, we're getting back into this in this QTEX. We're gonna give 2 stabs. We're not gonna get run over by any of these small caps today. We got all out of our Robinhood. We had about 20% left. That's fine. It comes back to break even. We get out of that one. I was looking for a 101 before we remove some more, but wasn't the situation or the scenario that we fell into. Now we'll head back over to SpaceX, as that was a pretty good one for us. Sorry about all the dark. Oh, okay, they're gone on this one. Nice. So this adds a little bit more context to the trade for us here today. We take a long right at the support level. We add a little bit more, nothing substantial, and then it continued to bleed. So we got out of dodge on that. Then we get right back in, right? We're not going to shy away, especially when price starts to turn around. We get back in. We take some off at VWAP for the potential rejection of this resistance zone, this prior support level that can act as current resistance, right? Didn't happen. We add at VWAP. We take some more off. We take some more off. We take some more off. And then guess what? We take a little bit more off there, Sharif. But then we have this aggressive pullback into 173. But now we're at 178, $5 higher on that specific name. We can remove this dark pool. I'll do that for you because you know what I typically say.
What do you do?
I am kind.
What do you say, Joe?
I am kind, right? Shout out to Xerxes. But no, there it is. Yeah, pull back, $174, and then now continuing to move a little bit higher. Now,
Joey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tunisia sacked their coach, bro.
Who?
Tunisia. They
in like the middle of the World Cup?
Bro, they just lost last night.
Yeah.
5-1 against
And he's
Sweden.
gone middle of the tournament.
Straight to jail.
Bam.
He's gone.
Right away.
One game. That's all he gets. I mean, it was an ass whooping 5-1.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing, but
There's
mid-tournament like that?
That's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, that's probably not going to work out to them. Shout out to everyone in the Carolinas, though, as the Carolina Hurricanes take home Lord Stanley, the Stanley Cup last night, beating the Las Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games. So there it is, QTEX. Let's see.
Did you win or Katina Man?
Katina Man won that one.
How much money does he get?
He gets nothing. We offset because I won the previous bet and then he won this one, so it balances out.
I like that. See ya.
Thank you so much. Let's talk some currency. The Indian rupee has risen against the US dollar for a second straight session today. Rupee is at a 6-week high. Oil prices are plunging following the US-Iran preliminary agreement to end their conflict and reopen the crucial Strait of Hormuz. The pound as well has inched higher against the US dollar today after the US Iranian officials said that they've reached, again, a preliminary agreement to end their war, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and currently we're going to look at the dollar currently rebounding off lows, hovering around the $99.5 region. That's all. Sending it back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Sia. Guys, we are still halted here on RGNT. So, halt time, 12:32:49. Earliest this will be open is 12:42:39. Current time, 12:41:30. So we have exactly a minute and 20 seconds from the earliest open of this one. This one I got wrong all sorts of times, and this is my biggest loser on the day. Thankfully, it's outdone by my biggest winner, which is HQ. However, I need to be honest with myself in that I didn't have the right read on this, okay? And so I'm hesitant to want to go over 3. Can you blame me? Let's see, unless the setup is going to be like aces over here. So about 50 seconds, give or take, before we get this one to open. Fluffy dropping 20 in the chat. Love it, Fluffy. Thank you, Fluffy. Hi, guys. I'm in SPCX 16109 after today. I'll be out for about 2 weeks due to surgery. We hope you're good. We hope you're fantastic. My current thinking is to hold the position while I'm away, but I appreciate your opinions. What would you do in this situation? Fluffy, I need to know more. Are you holding this one for a swing trade, or is your intention to be a long-term holder? You don't have to obviously super chat again, but please tag me so we can get an idea of what your thinking is, because I don't think we should be painting with one brush on this. Your RGNT's open, guys. 745 day high. It's Rip City, Rip City. And there it goes again into area high of 745, 750. Limit up is 854. I just saw it flash there, but you're getting an aggressive move down into 7. Fluffy says she's happy with either. Okay, so we're going to go to Adara, and then Joseph and I will answer your question as soon as we get back.
Absolutely.
Keep an eye here on AMZN. Another way to play this will be AEE, which we'll get to in a minute, though this is really light volume. Amazon just announced via its website, it's got a new data center campus they're going to be investing, quote, several $1 billion in Montgomery County, Missouri. Now, apparently the local utility here is Ameren, that is AEE, so that's how the other ticker AEE comes into this. Yet again, guys, another data center announcement. We had the Google Alabama announcement coming through earlier today. Now we get Amazon Missouri. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. So I'll just give you my opinion. Joseph is obviously going to give you his. Fluffy, I personally do not know what to expect in the short term. RGNT is ripping up.
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go again. There goes 799, 830. It is a rip city right now on
sir.
RGNT. Here comes 500%. Get it, Joey. 860 limit up. 860 limit up on RGNT, at least currently. It's an 855 high a day, so we'd have to breach high. So I personally don't know what to expect in the short to intermediate term from SpaceX. I personally would hold this for years and years and years. So my advice is going to be tailored on that. If you are looking at holding SpaceX for a prolonged period of time, I think you hold it into the surgery. Never financial advice, of course. That's what I would do. If I was going to go into surgery and I was holding SpaceX, my view on SpaceX is like more 10 to 15 years rather than 10 to 15 weeks. How do you feel about that, Joe?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. This is a long-term hold for me when I do get into it. I don't look to ever sell, except for when we're at peaks, to maybe get in at some better prices, sell some profit. I'm in the exact same boat. That's something that I would be holding for an extended period of time. Here it is. We get it. So we'll head back to that, Fluffy. So I like it. I mean, don't forget, it depends on your, as Shreve mentioned, it depends on your time frame. Are you investor or are you swing trading it? Did she state that? Or anything along those?
She said she's fine with both.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you're not tying yourself up capital-wise, just add to it forever, not like a madman. Don't listen to me or anything that I do, but that's what I'd be looking to do. So think about it. I've been telling you guys for the past couple of weeks leading into this IPO. I've been rotating out of certain names. Why? So I can specifically allocate SpaceX, Anthropic, and OpenAI. It's that simple.
Touching OpenAI.
You're not touching it?
Hell no.
That's fair. That's fair, man.
I wouldn't touch that with your money, bro.
That's fair, man. Hey, listen, whether it works or not is a different story, but at the end of the day, money is money. $100 bill is $100 bill. You obviously don't want to get it in the wrong ways. But if it works out, I understand that you may not like Sam Altman and company and think ChatGPT is garbage. Maybe that changes in a couple of years.
Of course, and we've seen that. We've seen that happen. And
with Anthropic.
We've been talking about that. The frontier model kind of race is so dynamic.
Very.
Right? You're up today, I'm up tomorrow. You know, somebody else is up the next day.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're gonna talk a lot about that on the news.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what the hell happened over the weekend with Anthropic? This is a monster story. It is huge.
No, I didn't hear what.
Oh God, we're gonna get to it. I don't want to front run it right now, but I'm sure C is gonna have it on the news segment because it's as important story as there is in tech right now. Obviously,
did they sign a big? Did they get a big government deal or?
Big government deal. They got a big government smack.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I seen it. Smack. See you later.
Yeah.
Did you see IonQ being promoted at? Oh no, you didn't watch 250 yesterday. A lot of public companies and Andro up there. Yeah, right, QTEX. As I get off, obviously now it's starting to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. Hopefully this isn't a false break. Katina, man, we're going to have to take a stab on this bad boy as QTEX now really starting to move here. Let's see if we can get this break of the high of the day. A nice scalp that puts us slightly positive on RGNT. Now we need the exact same thing. Third time may be a charm. There it is, Sharif. On this, we have double the amount of size on QTEX as our first initial position. So let's see if this can work. We have to be prepared to get out. There it is. It's really starting to move here now, my boy.
Oh, yeah.
Not too bad of a look.
Incoming.
Third
Great
attempt
look.
here. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we can get this rocking and rolling for us.
Absolutely. Good look there, Joe. Got to point out a couple of things here for those trading. RGNT, what a big move down. 855 high. Now it's coming down into 7. Keep your eye out on that 666s. I know it's an ominous number,
yes, sir.
which is the halt level. Currently, pardon me, it is holding the halt level. Prior bar low, 680. Current bar low, 680. Somebody's buying, I think, Joey, at 680. Okay, so keep your eye out on that. Now, it does keep coming down into 7. You're not likely to see 680 for very long, so the way that you're probably going to get that print is by having a resting order in and around that level. And by the way, HQ, Adam was telling me this is a blue sky setup possibly, and this is the daily on HQ, and we almost had the high of the day in that 635 high, but that is the, well, whatever, IPO, what was this? What did this open up at? This looks like a SPAC to me here. This is probably D-SPAC because it opened up at 15, it closed at, I have no idea if HQ was a SPAC or not, but in any event, March 20th was the first day HQ started trading, the high of which is 1740. Today's high, 1670. So definitely be on the lookout for that, especially if we open up above that all-time high. RGNT is bleeding its own blood. It is headed down. Wow, here comes limit down, 597. We were just at 855. This is as ugly as it gets, man. These 96, 597, pardon me, limit down were halted. RGNT, oh my
What a
Lanta.
move on QTEX.
Great move on QTEX, brother. That's a great entry, great trade.
I'm so mad at myself because I added up this move here instead of taking some off
it's
at
ripping.
237s. Yeah, it took 3 attempts for this to get going, but when it decided to, there's a couple of things correlating with this trade, right? Is the volume, and then obviously the breakout through some key resistance zone. Katina, man, back in the building. Welcome, brother. But yeah, man, what a bag fumbler 101 on this one. We had double the amount of size as we did on each individual position right there. But okay, there it is. Bang. Maybe I don't feel so bad about it at this moment. So yeah, bag fumble 101 on this QTEX.
What do you see here?
77% to the top side. Glad we got out of MGMT. Just joking for those who know MGMT. Shout out to you. RGNT. Is that move.
Come on.
There. Jesus tap dancing, cried, my power just went out. How are you typing then still, my boy? It's probably an account that's been here before. Anyways, I'm not going to read what Blicky and Jesse have been up to. Once again, I hope everyone's having a good day. Let's get all you guys engaged and do us a solid. I mentioned it before. We have 534 likes, 6,500 watching. Let's get those likes up. Exactly, Katina, man. Get those likes up. Hit the subscribe. 575,000.
The option to like and subscribe. This trade has unlimited upside.
Okay, it does. Maybe we have to redo my like and subscribe because, as you can see, I currently have no hair compared to what we had before. Dang, what did we do? Nothing, man. Don't worry about it. Other than that, guys, thank you very much. There it is, a big uptick in the likes, 580. Much appreciated to everyone. Now let's head right back into the market. We got all out of Robinhood. We had a high of around $101.81. We come back, now holding the volume-weighted average price, and then boom, a move back in. But we did break through some support levels. And if this is breached, you can see that a shelf is starting to be formed. And you know I don't like the look of those jibs because you get that really, really aggressive downside movement if the support level is breached. And then you want to look for that next level where you're going to approximately hold up at. Katina, man, did you see JPM up to 325 today? You know that, my guy. That's why. Awesome. Hey, listen, that's why it's Katina Wilson Capital over here. We're grabbing over here some of these names. Hitting that Josh toe kick play last night as well too. I told you yeah, it's all right, man. Dude, you seen my plays on yesterday. Man, it's unfortunate that we didn't get that. Would have been a nice little payout. But what we do have, guys, is SpaceX putting in almost a new all-time high around $178.51. Man, oh man, if you did buy that opening price at $150, not looking too bad right now as this name continues to move northeast. Now, how has Tesla been performing here, ladies and gentlemen?
It's up.
320. Oh no, that's JPM, man.
This guy's upset.
With JPM?
What you need to look at on the day is WD frickin' C. This thing's up 14 and a third.
WDC?
Who does this thing think it is, man?
Who's that?
Western
WDC.
Digital.
Oh, Western
brother.
Digital. Yeah.
Are we moseying on over
Man,
to
look at
Sia?
that fail on QTEX. Yeah, we're going to send things off to Sia.
I think it's a good entry.
Thank you so much. We're going to quickly talk about one crypto story. Bitcoin surging back above 65,000, currently at $67,000. Investors are reacting positively to reports that the U.S.-Iran peace deal agreement framework has been completed. The easing of these geopolitical tensions has also boosted a broader risk appetite, helping all these cryptocurrencies, I'll talk about the other names, to outperform certain traditional risk assets. More than $339 million in crypto positions have been liquidated over the last 24 hours, accelerating this rally. We also had ETH, sorry, just going to pull up that chart here. Ethereum climbing above 1,730 region, currently at 1,870 region, while higher beta names like Solana, XRP, and Dogecoin posted even certain larger percentage gains. Crypto analysts, some of them are also believing that this renewed risk-on sentiment could potentially drive some additional flows into these digital assets if the broader equity assets and market do continue strengthening just like they are now. With that, Bitcoin is up almost 2.10% on the day. Sending it back to you.
Thank you very much, Sia. Great information as always. Joey, you know one thing I completely negated to mention today? And the Katina man just jogged my memory. He's like, when is Egypt playing? Oh yeah, today at 3. And Joey, do you want to know who we're playing?
I kind of know the answer already, but tell me.
It's one of the teams that I actually selected as a sleeper, Belgium. And I'm terrified of facing one player and one player only. Guys, can you guess who I'm worried about?
Who are you worried about?
In the chat, do you guys know what player I'm talking about from Belgium? I just want to see if they can get. Mo Salah's not on Belgium, bro. He's on the opposite team, Sufyan. Kevin De Bruyne, nope. Doku, yes, Nico Wagner, right away. Well, Kevin De Bruyne, you know, he's obviously a GOAT, but he's not the current GOAT. That goes to Jeremy frickin' Doku, who had the best year of his life, in my humble opinion, with Manchester City. The dude was unstoppable, playing against some of the best, right backs in the world. He's a left winger. Now, there's even more chaos that can ensue because Leandro Trossard, the Arsenal left winger, could switch sides. He could start playing right wing, and then you could have like this duetto of a very fast player, Jeremy Doku, a very clever player, and then a very tactical player, a very skilled player in Leandro Trossard. I think the Egyptian defenders are going to have a nightmare trying to stop these two. I get Kevin De Bruyne, you know, he's good. He used to be your top guy. Don't think he's still the same type of player he was about 5-6 years ago with City, but hey, man, he had a good year with Napoli, so we're not going to hate on him there, man. But, yeah, so this is going to be interesting. Imagine Mo Henney defending against Doku. Mo Henney? Who's that, brother? I don't even know who that is.
Just making names up now.
I don't even know, man. RGNT's open, says Bovin. Yeah, it's zigging and zagging. I see Bovin around 6 3/4 right now. Yeah, my money's on Belgium too, Frico. That's why I'm not putting any money on it.
Frico.
Now, my cousins and I, we came to an agreement. If Egypt makes it into the first knockout stages and or Canada, it's going to be either one of those teams. We are going to travel and watch those teams. So super pumped about that. That's going to require traveling, obviously, and tickets, knockout stage tickets, which will be obviously quite expensive. But hey, man, how many times does a World Cup come into your backyard, right? So pumped about that. Mo Henney is the Egyptian right back. Ah, okay, gotcha. yeah, hard to follow all the Al Ahly and the Al Zamalek and the Pyramids players because, well, they're
Dude,
far
honestly,
away.
that's why I never really got into soccer. It's just that there's too many leagues and too many people.
The European leagues I can follow quite easily because of the Champions League and the Europa League. So if you're a top team in Europe, you're typically in one of those two leagues. So then I'll have an idea about you. It's just hard to follow all the world leagues.
Yeah.
Because like the Egyptian Premier League, and then you got the Saudi League, and the Saudi League is really good now. They're paying through the nose to buy these high-end players. Like the top 3 teams in Saudi,
It's like
according to some analysts, would be mid to bottom teams in the Premier League. That's how good the Saudi League, well, the 3 teams.
Oh, yeah?
And the top 3 teams in Saudi, yeah.
It gives me little boxing vibes, like the WBC, the WBO, the lineal, and all those different SpaceX.
New day high since Katina Man on
Exactly, new
SpaceX.
day high. You still sitting in this bad boy, Katina Man? Oh, all right. We were long from 172 or 170 something, anyways. Yeah, I mean, not too bad of a look, guys. I know QTEX. I'm looking for this to
there we
kind of
go.
gain its
There we
momentum.
go.
Was that a 25 print? No
money,
way it
man.
just
Give me my
did that,
money, man.
That's crazy.
Give me my money.
Man, what a big time up spike. Let's see if we can wait for any form of a pullback here because that was
Get
an
it, Joey.
insane volume. But I'm not seeing the uptick on the tape. There it is, another one. Are you going to get that high of the day break? Man, that went from 215 all the way to 225 in a blink of an eye. I didn't even see it print anything on the tape. It just went up 10 cents immediately, right away.
Straight to jail.
So now it's starting to pull back a little bit. Maybe this is our green light to engage on this. Boom, rocket boosters, engage. Let's see if we can get a break of the high of the day. But what we do want to see, Sharif, is an increase on the tape.
You want to see an increase on the tape, eh?
Yeah, man, I
You're
want to see
asking
that
a lot,
flow.
brother.
Asking for that.
Look, you're
flow.
asking for price action. You're asking for tape action. Probably your next, what are you going to ask for? Volume?
Yeah, I need
Like
that.
your
If I don't,
expectations are too high.
No. We set that bar high, my friend. If the volume doesn't come in, then we got to bail out. Like you said, man, break out or bail out, module.
Shout out to my man,
I think
Jay
that was
Lee.
a fake out, to be honest with
That
you.
was a
And
fake out, Joey?
it's displaying that. Because there's, like, listen, okay, so here it is, right? I always talk about effort and result. Now, what do I mean by this? Look at the effort within the price action prints here. So this is a big engulfing candle. So the effort, there's a lot of volume. That's what I mean by effort. And the result is a strong print. Now look at this one here. Effort, not so much, but the actual result is an engulfing candle approximately the same size as the one that we seen at 1247, but with half the volume. So I don't like that. I think that was a fake out there. That's VPA right there. Just correlating volume and price, and there wasn't that big outstanding volume spike that we were looking for.
No, you're absolutely right, brother. Now, whether it goes on this candle or goes on the next few candles, but what I want to point out, Joey, on QTX, if you don't mind my saying here, is this uptrend. We've got a general higher low trend. Now, there's been bamboozlement across the way. Don't get me wrong. There's a wick down here, a wick down there, right? So if you're using strict stop areas amongst, or at prior bar low, there's a good chance you probably get bamboozled a couple of times. But the general trend is higher. So whether or not we can make it into that 2.5, we'll wait and see. I've got long 216 here. Best print I've got is 28s. We're looking for a little bit more. But there goes RGNT, Bovin. This one's moving again, Bovin. Now, if this one can take out prior bar high, which is at 737, this one can get going. Current bar high is 728. So just about, 9 pennies or so below the prior bar high on RGNT. This one's been rip city all freaking morning. It's up 383%, and it's about I would say almost 100% off the highs there. So RGNT, keep that in your purview if you are small cap gapper inclined. What else we got over here? We don't have much else that's moving right now. Those are the two that I'm going to really focus on, QTEX and RGNT. But yeah, I know we're probably going to start the news segment soon, and I have got a lot. I'm excited to talk about the Amazon / Anthropic angle that we kind of hinted at not long ago. It is a very, very interesting developing story here, guys, and I think we all need to be alive to this story because, it's great risk by a company who's been very, very risk averse so far. I kind of both applaud Dario. I want to stop talking about it. Maybe we should just send it to see. Are you ready to go for the news or what? Yeah, you ready? All right, man. Assassino, should we send it over? Maybe. All right, brother. Let's send it up to see for the news segment.
Let's start by talking SpaceX. We'll move into Amazon shortly. SpaceX extended its post-IPO momentum. We do know it. It's been up 19% after its IPO. Shares had closed on Friday around the $161 mark after pricing its initial shares at $135 per share. The market cap been pushed to over $2 million. Currently, SPCX is at all-time highs, 179.77. It had reached earlier 179.43 mark. So that's great. The bulls are pointing to Starlink, launch dominance, Starship, and future AI infrastructure, whereas the bears for the stock are focused on valuation, with SpaceX losing nearly $5 billion in 2025, while capital expenditures climbed to $10.1 billion last quarter. As I mentioned earlier during the Happening Now segment, that the CFRA has initiated coverage with a sell rating and $115 target, saying that also while Morningstar estimates the fair value at $63 per share, bullish analysts, however, more bullish analysts arguing that SpaceX maintains a substantial launch advantage and could also dominate the future orbital infrastructure in the coming years. And with that, currently SpaceX up on the day 11.8%.
Katina Man is talking about 180 on SpaceX, and he said that there's a lot of size there blocking the ascension of the price. So let's load up SPCX here. Take a quick look. Well, currently, Katina Man, I think the high still technically 179.99. Did you get a breach of 180 there? No, the Katina Man says it's right there, right now. There it goes, right back into 179. Should we pull this up on a trading screen here so we can get a good look at the time and sales there, Katina Man? So we're going to do that on the BTQ chart, SPCX. Let's load this up, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. Monster size at 180 there. You can see all the wattage posted up at that size. So that's what the Katina Man is talking about when he says big size at 180. Wow, there goes 180 through, what is the high? 181 incoming. Joseph frickin' options on SPCX. This one's trading like a small cap gapper. It's 12 1/3. And I was just about to tell y'all, there is where's that data that I had there, man? I don't know where it went. But anyway, there's a lot of money that's going to be passively buying SPCX subsequent to the IPO because they all have to track the NASDAQ 100, right? So there's a lot of these MSCI as well. So you're going to get probably a lot of days where this one just keeps making higher highs and higher lows as people look to get into their position. But SPCX, I wanted to mention one thing and one very specific thing. When asked during her interview, this thing's ripping, guys. It's just blowing through the top there. When asked during her interview with Morgan Brennan, Gwen Shotwell, who is the president and COO of that company, made it very clear that she anticipates to have a successful orbital flight for Starship by the end of the year. In fact, she went so far as to say that she thinks, really, it's not blaming the FAA, but it's really the constraints up to them when they give them the nod. Why is this important? I'm not talking about Mars exploration. I'm talking about the amount of satellites that a cargo ship, which is what it is, the size of a Starship is going to be able to put in orbit. I'm talking about low Earth orbit satellites. So we can kind of get that new telco, space telco, that we've been talking a lot about. Right now, we're launching them with a lot smaller vehicles, so you'll only be able to put out like 20 or 30 at a time. You're going to be able to put a lot more out with Starship. So I think, number one, launch cadence, super important. And number two, how quickly we can get those low Earth orbit satellites out there, Joey. What are your thoughts on this whole thing here?
So, I mean, people are always worried about the valuation of something, but at some point, it doesn't really matter. We know that Starlink is really the money driver for this right now, but things can turn on a dime relatively quick within this company, and I believe they're going to. Now, we're sitting above we're probably around $2.5 trillion from a $2.3 trillion market cap, putting it in the top upper echelon of market capitalization names. It's the same thing with Tesla. You remain forward-looking within the stock. This is a 10-year horizon, and I'm going to stick with that. A lot of people are agreeing with that fact, but don't forget, and I mentioned this before, is that you're going to have earnings reports start to step in, and at some point you will be able to get this stock at the price that you want. Now, considering it's trading $182, up 13% on the day. Like Sharif said, it's some small cap. It's not. This thing's $2.4 trillion here momentarily, which is absolutely insane. Now, as for expenses and just the cost of getting everything in space, the data center, I'm not going to call it a dream, but it's something that you have to be patient and wait for probably about a 3 to 4 year horizon. I like the stock. I'm going to be buying it, and I'll be a long-term investor in SpaceX.
I like it, Joey. I like it. All right, let's send it back up to see you.
Okay, let's talk a little bit USO right now. The Iran deal has triggered an oil collapse across the market. We saw that in the Sector Watch segment 2. We saw a complete red in the sector. The US and Iran have announced a peace deal agreement that would end their nearly 4-month conflict with a formal signing that is expected on the 19th of June. That is this week. The deal includes a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, which, if you don't know, is one of the world's most important energy shipping routes, and removing the U.S. naval blockade. Markets immediately have priced out much of the geopolitical risk premium that had built into the crude oil over these past months. The reopening should, keyword should, restore oil, gas, and fertilizer flows, also easing supply concerns that had supported these higher energy prices across the market. The agreement raises the possibility of future sanctions relief on Iran, adding an additional supply to the global energy markets, and oil has been lower as a reaction to this news. Again, the sector, everything in the energy sector was red today. We did see that pullback. USO also currently down 4% on the day. Adara, what do you have to say about this?
What I have to say about this here, I mean, I think with USO and more just for the deal in general, I think we should all be, very aware of the fact that there could, of course, be some snags. We don't want there to be snags, but it really seems like, for one thing I will say that's good, is that from what you're hearing from both the US and Iran, they do seem to have some kind of understanding, which is always good with a memorandum of understanding. They seem to be on the same page. But the biggest issue is that neither country really seems to have a lot of clarity as to the specifications of the deal. J.D. Vance said that more or less in those words on CNBC today, saying, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see exactly what comes of this meeting. So I think with that in mind, wait until Friday. J.D. Vance will definitely be there. President Trump said he may or may not be there, depending on when he leaves G7, so just be aware of this. And one more headline, Sia, you and I were talking about this off camera, but NVIDIA is going to be on watch here too. I put it on the screen, nothing massive here from a stock perspective, but we know that earlier today, I told you guys that we were hearing $20 billion could be raised in debt by NVIDIA through a bond sale. Apparently they drew $85 billion worth of interest. So NVIDIA on watch, and of course also this oil stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think Friday, and then of course what we see when we start trading on Monday.
Yeah, for sure, that would be fun. Yeah, sending it back to the guys.
All right, let's get down to some details over here. So $25 billion of the fund, $25 billion that's going to actually be unfrozen, not net new money. This is money that's going to find its way to Iran. Apparently, it's frozen assets from South Korea that are being held in bank accounts, other investment funds in South Korea, Iraq, and the UAE. Then there was another figure that started making its way out. I was just speaking to a friend at the gym before I came onto the show. He's like, oh man, the US taxpayer, they're going to be really mad. They're going to have to fork over $300 billion in reconstruction costs to the Iranians. Yeah, that's what, a one-line kind of read of the headline may lead one to believe. But when you look a little bit more into it, it's not like that at all. This money is going to come from a joint venture with European and Asian development funds, Gulf state capitals, specifically UAE and Saudi, and they're basically going to be an investment fund, not straight cash. The U.S. contribution here is going to be more regulatory than financial. In fact, it's just going to be the removal of sanctions by the United States so that this kind of can take place. So I think that there is a lot of misinformation making it out there with respect to how the money is going to be structured. I think we'll probably have to wait and see, Sia, on Friday when and if the deal gets signed, then we can actually see the MOU.
Absolutely. Let's take it over and let's move over to Amazon's Europe AI sovereignty debate. The European Commission is reviewing whether Anthropic could restrict access to these advanced AI models for the European users, raising concerns about Europe's dependence on US-based AI providers. Officials have cited reports that Anthropic may disable access to its most advanced models in Europe due to these regulatory requirements, and through although there's no final decision that has been made, this is important to know. The debate is fueling for calls for Europe to build certain domestic AI infrastructure, not international, and reduce reliance on foreign, like I said, technology providers. With that, Amazon remains highly relevant because it has invested over $20 billion into Anthropic, and it's one of the company's largest strategic partners through AWS. With that, Amazon is currently up on the day, 3.2%. Sharif, I know you were interested and excited to talk about the story. What do you have to say about this?
I am, and Anthropic is an investor, but that's not their main feature in this story, CEO. The main feature in the story is that they were the ones who detected how to get around some of the safeguards that Anthropic supposedly put out for their Mythos class or Mythos-like LLM called Fable, and that was the most recent one. So let's kind of step back here. So Mythos, we all heard about it. It can break into legacy software. They created a working group, including Palo Alto and Crowd, and they got their act together, so to speak, before they put this thing into the wild. Now it was time to stagger the release of this Mythos class kind of LLM into the wild. But Dario was super worried that people could use it in the wrong way. So what he did was he basically got to decide, well, the LLM gets to decide whether you get to use Fable or not, or whether you get downgraded to Opus. Case in point, if you asked it specific questions about how to get around regulations for a certain type of, let's just say, fertilizers, I wonder what that's used for, you were smacked, you got downgraded, you were viewed as a high risk. You're trying to make untoward things with this information. So basically, they put safeguards around this. Now, what Amazon did was they came in and they figured a way to get around these safeguards. And so what they did was the first thing they went to do was tell the Trump administration, hey, watch out, there's a national security risk here. Fable may not be as secure as Dario thinks it is. And so the Trump administration requested from Anthropic that they patch that. Anthropic, if you believe the reports, refused. So the Trump administration came back out and was like, nope, we have to put limitations on this thing. One of the first limitations was they said, no non-US citizens can actually use this. And that put Anthropic in the very disadvantageous position of not being able to allow some of their employees to use it, because apparently, and this only came out after, a lot of Anthropic's employees not US citizens. So where does this kind of leave everybody? It leaves everybody in the precarious position of not knowing, something that they've started with Fable they can continue with, because it may not be available anymore. So this is very interesting, and I think, it caught a lot of people off guard. The fact that Anthropic, showing themselves always to be this AI safety company, refused to kind of go back and repatch some of the, I know you missed some of the spiel that I had there, or to patch some of the issues that we had with Fable 5's safeguards.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Okay, so let's just go back to that. Let's go back to Sia.
Let's talk a little Tesla. Reuters investigation has claimed that Tesla's frequently cited FSD, which is its full self-driving system, safety statistics rely on comparisons that are independent traffic safety researchers considering misleading. So according to this report, Tesla executives, including Elon Musk, have increasingly referenced data suggesting the FSD is up to 10 times safer than human drivers. Researchers have also argued that the comparisons may not be accurately amounting for differences in these road types, driving conditions, and usage patterns, potentially overstating the FSD's safety advantage. But the report does not allege any kind of fraud or regulatory action. It just raises certain fresh questions about Tesla's marketing claims, as autonomous driving remains central to Tesla's valuation.
Yeah,
I don't really have much to say about this. You know, it's one regulatory body making accusations. I've seen it work in real life. I think it's pretty good. Is it perfect? No, but I think it's on the way there.
Like this technology is still so new that you're gonna have these regulatory bumps. I mean, it's already starting to expand in European countries. Of course, you're gonna say it's 10 times safer. That it's their business and what their technology is. But at the end of the day, the data will obviously back itself up, and I think that's going to be the narrative. I do believe you're eliminating human error, and I think in some aspects it will be safer. 10 times, maybe that's a little bit of a push, but hey, I like the technology, and if everything's kind of moving in tandem, and what do I mean by this is if you have a bunch of vehicles on the road that have the same data and you don't have that subjectivity within the driver itself, I think there's some aspects that can make it a little bit safer. And then that's why, I believe that's why some people continuously use the technology. I like FSD. I'm gonna like full autonomy when it does get here, because again, sometimes humans can act irrational, and that's not necessarily gonna be the case with this new technology.
I completely agree as well. And you know, anybody who's watched YouTube, just go on and watch some of these videos of somebody literally taking it from one coast of the country to the other side and having either 0 or 1 or 2 interventions the entire way. I mean, so I feel so many people who comment about FSD have never used it or even been in a Tesla where one was activated, but they have such strong opinions. It's actually quite comical.
Did you see the Waymo commercial, the new Waymo commercial?
No, I didn't.
It's just saying just how they appreciate and they really value human life, but that's why they're allowing the robots to take over or the AI technology to take over.
Did they address why they're buying their cars from Geely?
No, they never mentioned that. They never put that in the commercial, but I'm sure I'm pretty sure it's because what they don't want to be and continuously doing is paying $250,000 a vehicle.
I know, Joey, but you got to be picking it up from an American company, not a Chinese company where you have to pay 100% tariff on bringing it literally in the body. And they will pay the tariff. They've already said that.
But see, the crazy thing is, though, if they're paying the tariff, then that means it's still probably more profitable for them to buy that vehicle than it is to hook it all up.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Their LiDAR to these American-made vehicles.
I don't know what to tell you.
Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Why would they? They're going to follow the path of least resistance. What Joey and I are talking about, if in case you don't know what we're talking about, Google, Alphabet's Waymo division has made it very clear that their next kind of Waymo format will not be based on the Jaguar I-Pace, as Joey just alluded to there, about $250,000 in development costs to convert that into an autonomous driving car. They are going to be going with Geely, and they will be importing the next format of Waymo kind of cars from a Chinese electric vehicle maker, and they will pay, according to the current reports, the import taxes on that. So to me, it's a bad tactical decision by Google, politically speaking, to do that. I think that I don't know, I think they should reconsider. Yeah. Not that I don't like Chinese EV.
Yeah, no,
I made that very clear.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, Google has somewhat of an argument, don't you think? Just the fact is like, hey, think about how much money we've spent in AI infrastructure within the United States.
Right.
We're going to grab something that really doesn't even put a dent into the bottom line at this point for the company, and that's just bringing in these vehicles.
I totally get it. From a dollars and cents perspective, it doesn't move the needle. That's why I was kind of like, this is a political, it's a PR thing.
But that's what I'm getting at is like at the end of the day, it's like Google, look how much money they spent in the build out in data centers and creating all this cloud. So the fact that it's like, hey man, we gave you all of this, let us do our thing.
I see where you're going with that.
You know what I mean?
It's just cars is such a sensitive issue.
It is a very sensitive issue.
I see what you're saying though. You're not wrong, man. All right, let's throw it back to Sia.
Let's talk MU. RBC is seeing an AI memory super cycle extending into the year 2027. RBC has reiterated its outperform rating on Micron and raised its price target to $1,200 from $525, which is one of the most aggressive bullish calls on the semiconductor sector. RBC is believing that supply constraints will remain in place through at least 2027, late in 2027, as limited clean room capacity capacity and years of underinvestment restricts certain industry expansion. And data centers now account for more than half of the industry's DRAM demand. With that, don't forget that MU reporting next week's Wednesday, not this week, on the 24th of June after the bell rings.
Thank you very much for that, CA. And what stood out to me in this report here by RBC was not, the close to street high $1,200 price target, but again, echoing the view that we've heard a lot more from analysts lately is that the cyclicality of the RAM market may be over in the near term, whether it shows up perhaps after we've built the AI build out, but you're seeing RAM sold into 27, into 28. You're having a lot of these long-term agreements between the Microns, the SK Hynix, the SanDisks, whoever else, Samsung as well, of course, I shouldn't forget that. You're seeing these LTAs lock in the price for a year at just below current market value. So they give off, or give up, I should say, just a little bit of profits for that long-term security. But that's not what I'm focusing on. What I'm focusing on is this shows good revenue guidance for these companies vis-a-vis the LTA into a year, right? So that's pretty good. I think that kind of can help some of the investors rest easy about the cyclicality of this business, because believe you and me, it has been very cyclical traditionally, because it was reliant more on the PC upgrade cycle and the cell phone upgrade cycle. That's not the case anymore. 50% now of RAM is being bought up by data center or AI related kind of compute. So keep that in mind, when you look at these names and you're like, oh, SanDisk is only up 785% on the year. MU's only up 276. WDC is only up 277. I don't even know what SK and Samsung are. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, that's kind of what they're saying. Cyclicality is over in the near term. Whether you believe that or not, I think reasonable people can disagree.
But yeah, absolutely, Shreve. And I think when you talk about bottlenecks within a specific space or subsector, eventually you're going to start to see that traffic clear up. Shreve mentioned the long-term agreements. That's important, right? Because you have names like Apple who have those locked in. When you're looking at 13% of actually constructing the iPhone comes from memory costs, right? And if that was the case and they didn't have those long-term agreements, then you would have seen the price of the iPhone substantially increase. But what I'm getting at here is just with the bottlenecked aspect, eventually the traffic is going to clear up and you're going to see somewhat of a cooling down. How long is that going to be? Multiple analysts stating that, hey, we might see this traffic come through these names up until 2030. So you still have some more room to run within this specific sector and this crazy bull market. Are you going to go parabolic? As Shreve mentioned, 700% here, 500% there, and then I see multiple analysts adding another 50% on top of Micron's price from where it's currently trading at, $1,500 price targets. I mean, at the end of the day, when you have something that has so much demand, I wouldn't be surprised. And we're still we're in the middle of this complete AI build out. When you have these companies that we were just talking about, Google spending ridiculous amounts of cash, Zuckerberg's still spending money, Amazon doing the exact same thing to the point where they're depleting their free cash flows and going to raise debt. Well, that money's going to funnel into somewhere. And that's why we're seeing SanDisk, Micron, SK Hynix, and these other memory storage names just go on these parabolic runs. And I think we're going to see that until we start to see the cool down in the capital expenditure from the hyperscalers.
See ya.
Anthropic again. Anthropic will be meeting Trump administration over the Mythos dispute. Senior Anthropic staffers are meeting with the Trump administration to try to resolve this company's latest dispute with the government. Anthropic has been ordered to suspend access to its latest AI models, Fable 5 as well as Mythos 5, by any foreign national, and the government has told Anthropic to disable these models because of an unspecified national security threat. A source has said recently, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also addressed the government's latest directive in a post on X this Saturday, saying that every passing day proves why blacklisting Anthropic was the right move. Anthropic has sued the Trump administration in an effort to reverse the supply chain risk designation and the litigation that is currently ongoing. And this just in some moments earlier that U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick's letter to Anthropic flags the risk of latest Mythos and Fable models being diverted to foreign military intelligence users.
So what we saw here was, I think, a compromise from Dario, right? He knew how strong these models were, and he was concerned about putting them in an unfiltered form into the wild. So he very much safeguarded them. Give you an example. The guy's on All In on the weekend, Cal Canis. He got downgraded twice from Fable to Opus, and it tells him that he's being downgraded because of the nature of his questions. So it is working in a deterministic fashion. There's no human on the other side that's determining whether your query is, legit or not. And so it's going to be determined by AI. So you can literally be working on Fable, ask the wrong question, and then get downgraded to Opus right after that. And again, I think this is a compromise by Dario because he knew that this could be misused. The problem was Amazon was able to work around some of these safeguards, and they brought it to the attention of the Trump administration, who brought it to the attention of Anthropic. And if you believe the reports, Anthropic refused to patch it in a way that was satisfactory, I guess, to both parties. So that creates kind of the question in my mind, why have this sort of doomerism approach to AI, which the strategy they've been employing basically since the jump, and then kind of refuse to patch something that, very obviously needs patching here. It wasn't just the Trump administration coming out with this. This was Amazon saying, hey, look, a company who has a financial interest in in Anthropic, surviving and thriving. So I was really interested to see how that worked. Now, there are more implications to this. Friedberg, David Friedberg, one of the hosts of All In, working, he's back, as a chief executive now. He's working with this, I think they're biotech, perhaps some botanists and whatever. They're trying to perfect some of the vegetables and the crops that we eat, right? Through research. And he and his company, I forget the name of it, was also dinged several times because they asked sensitive information about changing the molecules and all that kind of stuff. Not that I really know too much about it, right? So I both like this and dislike this, right? And I like the fact that, we're alive to the fact that, the Chinese or anybody else can get their hands on this, or anybody untoward, perhaps some of our enemies. And I don't like the fact that they didn't respond in a way that showed urgency.
In regards to
the exploit by Amazon of Fable 5.
Okay.
That's my concern.
Yeah, no, I totally understand and can get that. Now, with Anthropic flying someone to the White House, my question to you, Sharif, is do you believe that this is just some form of a road bump, or do you believe that it can be fixed, this issue, patched up relatively quick?
I don't think the White House or the administration in general, or the government in general, I should say, can look past Anthropic. Anthropic is that good.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never used it in an enterprise fashion. I can only say how I've used it as just a regular user. Yeah. It is that good.
Via Claude or Opus.
Via Claude, yeah. And it's not like you have a second much better or, equally good option. Not yet anyway, right? So, everybody out there saying, Sharif, let the free market decide. If Anthropic wants to take this approach, well, the market will either reward them or they'll make them pay. Let the free market decide. We don't need to kind of intervene.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of do, though, in this case.
To what extent?
That's what I'm saying. Right. Because this is a Mythos class kind of frontier model.
And don't you feel that they were, at the beginning, they were kind of fear-mongering with this?
And that's what I was saying.
Right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, listen, it's still early days within the technology, and I believe the patch will be corrected, and the next thing you know, the government will most likely be using it once again. Now, I mentioned that Claude 3.5 and Opus 5 Opus, just not affected by this at all. So it's definitely a little bit of
Have you used it yet?
Opus?
Yeah.
No, I've never
Neither
used
have I.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't used Opus. Been using Claude though. So yeah, other than that, man, I think eventually they'll be able to find some form of a framework and get this completed and patched up.
All right, just before we go back to see a couple of things here, we'll just look at RGNT and SpaceX because they're both ripping. So good luck here, Bovin. RGNT's putting in this ascending wedge pattern. This could be a very, very brutal break for the shorts through 8. We'll see if this one, if it does squeeze through 8 on a closing basis, whether or not it makes its way into 10. RGNT looking pretty good. Likewise with SpaceX. You still long this, Katina Man? The Katina Man just got long again, so he's printing again as this one works its way back into 184. SpaceX looking fantastic on the day. A bunch of higher highs and higher lows. You know, just a couple of breaches here and there of the 10 EMA, but you can see the closing prints all kind of defend that green line. Great look there for SPCX and RGNT. Anything you want to say before we throw it back?
Yeah, I was going to mention 212.53 here on NVDA. I want to head over to the options chain quick because we were talking about this level. So 212 here. That next marker could be potentially 215. Now, where is max pain on the week? That's definitely going to be all the way up here at 230. I don't believe we climb that high, but anything can happen. So that next level would be around $220. But I think what's obtainable here today is $215 or at some point throughout the week.
All right, see ya. Let's get to the next topic.
So this is a cool story. It's funny. KFC tapping into boneless chicken market. KFC has unveiled its new strategy that prioritizes boneless chicken options and adds a new drink sub-brand and aims to make the in-person dining experience more immersive for their guests and customers. So the Yum Brands unit is facing a competition from upstart chicken chains and also from legacy giants like McDonald's that are betting big on the growing popularity of, you guessed it, chicken. KFC is an important part of Yum's portfolio, and particularly as it is seeking a sale of struggling sister chain giant, Pizza Hut. That's sad, I love Pizza Hut. But with that, Yum is currently trading flat, but up 0.44%.
RGNT.
Joey, you a boneless chicken guy or you like the bones?
I like boneless chicken best. Yeah.
You like boneless chicken?
But it depends what it is, right? Like if you're cooking some authentic jerk chicken, then you need the bones.
You gotta have some bones
They gotta have the flavor
I
and
want
cartilage in there.
Jerk chicken.
How about
bones.
How about yourself?
Hold on, Joey. There's more
Oh,
questions.
okay.
There's more questions over here.
All right, go ahead. Let's hear them.
Let's ask the question that everybody wants to know.
What is it?
Is it flats or is it drums?
Brother,
Let's get the chat going
listen.
here. Let's get the chat going, Joey.
That is a crazy question. I'm good with
People
either
will fight
one.
you over that kind of question.
But I'm ready,
there,
man. You know I'm ready. But anyways,
we're
aside
gonna
from,
do it right
I'm good for either. I know, yeah. See, some people are flats. Some people. What are you? Are you flats or drums?
I'm drums. I'm drums.
I'm good with
drums
either
all
or,
the
man.
way.
I hold no.
I'm trying to load this up. Here we go. We're gonna get the chat involved here. Assassino, let's get the chat
Let's
involved.
go RGNT.
All right, hold on. Here we're gonna end voting
no
of
time.
this one. Return to main menu. We're gonna do a new poll, Assassino. Flats or
That's crazy.
drumsticks? Okay, hold on.
Or SpaceX.
Get out of here,
Put that
Katina,
in
man.
there.
How do you like your? You can chill this, Assassino. Chicken.
Why don't you
wigs.
put boneless in there too,
Wait,
my boy?
man. Hold on. Yeah, we can do that. Flats,
Yeah.
drumsticks, or add option, boneless.
Ooh.
All right, guys, let's get the voting. If you like flats, you're hitting 1. If you're about that drumstick life, you're gonna go 2. And if you think you're a schmuck if you're having bones in your chicken, you gotta go 3. Let's get the voting. The vote's ripping
it's
right
tied.
now, man.
Look at
Oh my
flats.
days.
No one wants those flats.
No
if
one-
you
no one
vote,
wants that life,
listen,
Joey.
if you vote 1, you may get a timeout. I don't know. I'm obviously being sarcastic. It's
Let's
pretty tight.
go,
It's a neck and neck race right here. I'm
It's
good
a
with
very
either
close
or.
race, Joey.
I'm good with either or, brother. As long as they're barbecued.
Look
we're
at
good.
Sia voting
Sia,
1,000 times, bro. Stop stacking the deck like
Yeah, that's
that.
crazy. I didn't even vote yet. So watch this.
Get it,
Bang.
Joey. We got a
Neil
really
started
close
it.
race here,
Did you
man.
vote yet?
Flats, I did.
Would you vote?
This is neck and neck.
I like boneless though.
You went
too.
boneless, eh? Yeah,
Yeah.
the boneless. I think you're out of luck here, Joey, because.
But I'm good. I voted deuce, man.
Super chat.
What is? Oh, hold on, man. Everything else is irrelevant right now.
Mark, 9670. I used to think chicken wings were small.
What does that mean? I don't really get it. But there it goes, man. RGNT. We're rocking and rolling on this one. A big time move. This is actually our best
go
trade.
drumstick.
Yeah, this is our best trade on the day right here on
Joey.
RGNT.
Good job, Joey.
Yeah, so a nice
Ripping
rock and
up
roll
here,
of
man.
$9. What are we in? 844. Almost catch $2
$8.44.
like that. Yeah, the chat is going crazy. If you guys are
Absolutely
voting
love
in
it.
here and you don't hit the like button, then time out right away. No, I'm obviously being sarcastic when I tell you guys. Time out. So boneless is fake chicken, bro, or mostly likely it's leftover chicken put into two. Okay, that's fair. Meat grinder into a meat grinder. Yeah, I mean that's what they said about chicken nuggets. Are you a chicken nugget guy or no?
I don't eat a lot of chicken nuggets, but
Yeah.
I've seen some interesting recipes to make them at home that are super healthy.
How about,
so I can get behind that.
how about strips?
The air fryer.
How about strips? Are you?
I think they're the same thing, aren't they?
Where's Wendy's tendies?
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right? I don't
yeah,
think he's
yeah.
in the chat there.
Like drums from a smaller chicken. Okay. Thanks for that $2 super chat. This is I guess this is a really, it's not that serious, but it's pretty serious at the end of the day. But as for the KFC Yum brands, I don't know. They've always had the popcorn chicken. I don't know how much of a needle mover that's going to be.
Yeah, I
within
don't
that.
have much to add to this, but yeah. Let's throw back to see the poll right now, though, guys. Drumsticks winning out by 5 votes. Keep voting.
We're talking Oracle. Adara is going to chime in a moment on this as well. Mizuho has maintained its outperform rating on Oracle following the company's strong fiscal fourth quarter results and reaffirmed its $320 PT. The firm has highlighted Oracle's accelerating cloud momentum with total revenue that has reached $19.2 billion and infrastructure as a service revenue surging 93% year over year to $5.8 billion. Analysts are continuing to point Oracle's massive RPO, which is remaining performance obligations backlog, as evidence of strong forward revenue visibility. The key investment thesis remains, however, here that Oracle's cloud infrastructure, that is the OCI, which continues gaining traction as enterprises and AI customers are seeking additional cloud capacity beyond their existing hyperscalers. And Mizuho believes that execution is remains strong here and also sees the cloud demand in Oracle supporting the sustained growth that it's about to see over the coming years. But that Oracle is up almost 5% on the day. Adara, please give us your take on Oracle.
Yeah, I'm back, guys. I know people were probably very happy that I wasn't here to talk about Oracle on Thursday and Friday, though I did have infographics about Oracle going out all of last week and through the weekend. So here's the thing. I actually did not hate this report that much. The one thing that I did say that I thought Oracle needed to do, which to its credit it barely did, was beat cloud infrastructure revenue projections that it provided for fiscal 26. So as you can see, here's the steady growth. I will give them that. They have steadily grown their cloud infrastructure revenue throughout the quarter since they started reporting it. But let's get into this. So they need to do $5.65 billion in cloud infrastructure revenue in this quarter in order to make their guidance for the year of $18 billion. They did $5.8 billion, so that gets them to $18.1 billion. That is a beat, but it is a very slight beat. And I wonder if it's too slight a beat, given the fact that this company is guiding well over $100 billion in revenue for this segment in just a few short years in fiscal 2030. Now, I understand growth, but I think can we continue this exponential growth for another, 16 quarters? We're gonna have to wait and see. Furthermore, RPO here for ORCL. I've been calling them RP Oracle for a couple quarters now because they're just obsessed here with this, RPO situation. And again, I want to mention RPO, much like that cloud infrastructure segment we were just talking about, they only started reporting it after they had a really bad quarter. So this is another kind of dicey thing I think Oracle does routinely. That being said, RPO growth is still in the 200, 300% on a year-over-year basis for each quarter. I guess that growth continues. I wonder though, can a company subsist on pure RPO, middling earnings, and now needing to raise $40 billion? That I am still not sure of. While I do think this was a better quarter from Oracle than I was expecting, I still feel bearish on it. We'll have to see what Q1 2027 brings us, because I do think, at least for me and probably for a lot of other people as well, that cloud infrastructure outlook is still going to be on watch, because that 100 billion plus is still a massive number if you're looking forward to fiscal 2030.
I gotta tell you, I was really suspicious of Oracle initially when they started reporting some of these numbers. And I'll tell you because the amount of CapEx that they had to expend to possibly get some of the revenue that the RPO was showing was a little risky. That's how I felt. But now you're seeing all the big and even much bigger names go into the debt market to raise. We're talking about Google, we're talking about Meta, there are others. So I start thinking, was Oracle more alive to the fact that they would probably be required to go ahead and raise aggressively because they foresaw what demand was needed, and you could make the argument they foresaw that vis-a-vis the RPO. So my thesis on this is changed a little bit, and and this is kind of why I was caught between two minds, because we were talking about CoreWeave, can't even hold up with demand. They're having their book 6 months down the line for the H100, and they're charging 125% of the cost they're currently charging on the H100 than when it was new in 23. So then that side kind of pulled me into that direction, like, no, maybe these neoclouds really do have something going here, they have cooking, and they've got to spend this money in order to meet that demand. So this is where I feel like my thesis is changing a little bit here, and I think that you have to actually spend this, and I think I was kind of persuaded more when the hyperscaler started raising, because usually they're not companies that we think have a shortage in money, Joe.
They don't. They don't. So we talked about this before, which is crazy because Sundar actually stated, hey, we would have made more in actual cloud revenue, and if we had the compute power, they don't. Google raising, that was a big tax payoff. That was like a one-off tax payment or something along.
Yes, I understand, but that's money that they weren't able to deploy into the AI build-out. Think about it. If they had the money and they didn't need to raise
from the funding.
So they were going to pay. It was basically an employee tax charge to the IRS that they were going to have to cover. But if they had that money and they weren't going to need it for AI CapEx, then why would they raise to pay that? Even if that money directly doesn't go into AI CapEx. Think about it.
Yeah, I am. But like we're talking about a company that has $125 billion in free cash flow.
So why raise?
That's a great, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then it's clearly for that, right? Like even if it's not going directly to that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, we've seen at the end of the day, there goes RGNT. Yeah, that thing's really starting to cook up now. Sharif, Amazon depleting about 85% of their free cash flow. Now, I think it's a little bit different of a scenario in regards to what Oracle has going on, because these guys actually had to offload assets as well too to raise cash, right? So I mean, and they laid off a bunch of employees where we didn't necessarily see that. We know Amazon laid off a bunch of individuals, Meta's laying off a bunch of individuals, but Google was one of the companies that hasn't laid off as many people, right? So I think it's a little bit, and the fact that you have to offload assets as well to remain to hit those RPOs, and let's not forget the concentration risk within Oracle, right?
Absolutely, of course.
OpenAI, where the majority of it, exactly, it's their
away.
largest client. So that might be a little bit of an issue as well too. If there's any company that I'm not worried about raising any money, Sharif, it's definitely Google. I can understand how Oracle can raise an alarm, considering they don't necessarily have that the revenue basis that Google has. Which, I mean, hey. OpenAI, if they meet their numbers, if they continuously grow from a monthly user aspect, then I think Oracle will be okay. And don't forget, they're involved in the TikTok deal as well too, which I think has been swept under the rug a little bit.
Well said.
Hold on one second. RGNT, wow, 1123.
It's going to 15.
Yeah, this thing's going crazy.
15.
I have nothing left on it anyways. Oh well, it is what it is. $12 incoming here on RGNT, 673%. Feels like last week a little bit, doesn't it, Shree?
It does, but this one's still not halting.
Oh, halt band.
Here comes. What's the halt band?
I don't have halt bands on here. No,
let me load it up. Halt
Look
up,
at that
limit
one.
up 1240.
Ooh.
So we're at 1219, 1240, limit up. Here comes 1227, there's 1230. Let's go. Let's see if this one's gonna limit up here, guys. What a rip, 714%. limit up into 1240.
It's hit the band. We're out.
Yeah, there you go.
Bang.
Nice trade there.
Hit the band.
That was a great trade, bro. 131.5 million shares traded on the day. 726 and a third percent. Halted to the upside. Halt time 13:46.16. Right. Earliest open 13:51.
There we go.
16. See ya.
Confused. What was that? Okay, crypto. Let's talk a bit crypto. Bitcoin has surged back above $65,000 region. I did talk about this in the crypto segment. Currently, BTC trading around a $66,000 800 mark. Investors have reacted positively to the reports about the U.S.-Iran peace agreement framework that has been completed. It'll be signed, sealed this Friday, hopefully. The easing of these geopolitical tensions have also boosted a broader risk appetite, helping these cryptocurrencies outperform all the traditional risk assets. More than $339 million in crypto short positions have been liquidated over the past 24 hours, accelerating this rally. Ethereum has climbed above $1,730 region. Higher beta names like Solana, XRP, and Dogecoin are also posting certain larger percentage gains. Crypto analysts have also believed that this renewed risk-on sentiment could potentially drive additional flows into these digital assets, and if the broader equity markets continue strengthening. Sending it back to you. Sorry, Sharif.
No, that's great information. So yeah, Katina Man, 185. Here comes 186, Katina Man. Big move here for 186, almost into the ominous 187. I'm just trying to bring it in, but my computer's tripping. I just can't believe the price action here on SPCX. Joseph, it's up 15.5%.
It's like, man, what the heck is going on?
Here comes 186. There goes 186, 187 incoming. Where are all the stories? Oh man, I bet you the media was salivating at a rinsing so they could just label Elon as the guy who took all the retail's money. They were salivating at that headline. What happened? Oh no,
he's gonna hit $190.
187, good breakout here,
187.
guys.
Oh, okay, I see what you did. You want to talk crypto or what do we think?
Yeah, go ahead, man? Joey.
Well,
let's talk crypto.
Yeah,
Let me talk about crypto.
Yeah, I want to hear what you have to say.
All right, apparently, the Iranian regime, the RGC, is looking at continually get paid here in some of the tanker transit costs in Bitcoin. So they're apparently, they're looking for $1 per barrel. So however many ships, however many barrels I should say the ship has, they want $1 per barrel to be paid, US dollars, to be paid in Bitcoin. Then, on the other side of this, there was this enforcement action taken by the US Treasury to blacklist Nobitex, which is apparently, if you believe the reports, Iran's largest cryptocurrency exchange. Apparently, they're processing, allegedly, of course, hundreds of millions of dollars for the IRGC. So in one kind of vein, they're looking at raising crypto or getting paid in crypto. And on the other side, the U.S. is trying to block their sort of methodology for receiving that. So interesting to look there. Sia mentioned the $82 million in Bitcoin short positions that were liquidated overnight as a result of the move up on Bitcoin over the weekend. What we didn't talk about, though, was the fact that last week accounted for the 5th consecutive week of ETF outflows from Bitcoin. So it's been a tough little time here. If we can get back, I'd say, and clear that $90,000 level, I think we get back. Maybe looking at 80s, but we're gonna, or sorry, 100s. So we'll have to see exactly how that all works out, Joey. But
yeah,
BTC, at least it's not at the day's low.
Your boy's back in the chat, eh?
Who's back in the chat?
Porus. Porus made it, man. This guy, what's that? Shawshank, a little Shawshank Redemption. He's back in the chat. Shout out to Porus.
Which Shawshank character? I love that movie, bro.
Which one?
Which character are you talking about?
Oh, well, no, the guy who escaped. What's bro's name?
Oh, you're
the main one, yeah, the main one.
Forgetting his name.
Right?
Andy Dufresne.
Andy Dufresne, man. Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
What a great movie, eh?
I can just sit back and watch that movie again and just relax watching.
You know what I was thinking about watching the other day, and I don't know why it gave me this vibe. It was just like, as I was riding the bike home on Friday, I'm like, maybe I'll go watch Blood Diamond.
It's crazy.
Right, it's just like World
What made
Cup.
you want to
I don't
watch
know,
that?
man. It's a good movie.
That's
though,
actually a
don't you
sick
think?
movie, man.
TIA, man.
Exactly. I was about to say.
You were about to say TIA?
No, I was about to say in it, but yeah. But
You know what TIA stands for, right?
no.
This is Africa.
No, of course I do.
Ew. All right. Anyways, no, in all seriousness, there it goes. It's open, guys. RGNT. Straight downside trade. I'm glad that we got out on that halt band, but I wouldn't be surprised if this name
trade,
continues to
brother.
climb. Listen, Jay Lee said, hey, Michael Saylor said he would never sell any Bitcoin. Listen, I'm going to be completely frank here, as I typically am. This drives me nuts, the fact that everybody's like, this is a huge sentiment shift. When Michael Saylor sold 35 Bitcoin, and then the following 32 Bitcoin, and then the following week proceeded to buy 1,100 plus. Like, come on. Like, I get it. The guy sold a little bit, but on the grand scheme of
Tell him,
things,
Joey.
it's chump change. Now, I just don't believe that the crypto trade is really in play right now. Dogecoin and all of these other meme-styled cryptocurrencies don't really stand a chance unless the grandfather himself, Bitcoin, climbs higher. I think there's going to be a good opportunity to get involved. Do I think that the trend line is broken? No, not yet, because there's still some weakness. When Bitcoin is in play, you will see those strong sessions. And what am I referring to? Those 8+%, those 10+% days where it's just absolutely rip all the shorts faces off, all the faces off the short sellers. And we haven't seen that for almost, I mean, not a year. We're still about 4 months away. But when we started to turn to the sell side was in October of last year, and we haven't had the ability to find a bottom since.
Guys, Spain is going to tie Cabo Verde. I don't mean any disrespect. I don't even know where this country is. And they're in the 92nd minute, and Spain, one of the favorites in the entire tournament, going to go goalless here and walk away with a point. Ooh, that's a tough one there for Spain. 0-0 in the 92nd. We'll see. They can't score, says Toby. Well, I haven't been running it. Usually I run it on the side. Cape Verde is in Africa. Okay, I didn't know. It says Cabo Verde. That's probably why it threw me. I knew Cape Verde was in Africa. Because we're using everybody's kind of their local name now. Like nobody's saying Ivory Coast in the broadcast. You're saying Côte d'Ivoire, and you're saying Turkey instead of Turkey. Right, so I think it threw me off a little bit there. Cabo Verde.
Who is that? Oh, who's that? The country that played Sweden, I believe it was on.
Sweden yesterday. Tunisia.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Tunisia.
I thought it was it? Okay, I thought it was this little Caribbean country that I never heard of.
No, you're talking about Curacao, I think.
Something.
It's right beside Aruba.
Yeah,
they played
exactly.
Germany.
Yeah.
Curacao. How do you say it again, Juan? How do you say it?
6-1. This guy's just like 6-1.
I know what the score was. How do you pronounce the word? Curacao.
Curacao, yeah.
So 7-1. And let me tell you, this match was very, very close until about half an hour.
Yeah, it was 1-1
It was
1.
No, but it wasn't just on score.
Oh, did they play Germany?
In reality,
Was it
yes.
Germany?
It was
Yeah,
Germany,
Germany, yeah.
In reality, it was a close match. Curacao had like a bunch of attacking opportunities, then all hell broke loose to the downside.
All right. Adair, you chimed in there for
Portuguese
a second.
I was just gonna say a good way to remember the Curacao pronunciation is the same as that blue Curacao. Like it's CU and then the Sao.
I didn't even know what that was either. So
that's not gonna help us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, Sharif. I don't know how you feel about Bitcoin. I've drastically reduced my exposure.
No, I haven't reduced anything, and I won't.
I have.
Yeah.
I
asked
have.
me what I thought, so I was saying.
Yeah. You're gonna hold on to where you to stand. For me, I just had too much exposure, but I do believe, like, listen, we'll pull up the technicals. This is still weakness, if you ask me. I mean, this is just pullback.
100% agree.
There's gonna be, once this trend line's broken, then there's going to be, most likely, in my opinion, a green light for me to engage a little bit more. Right now, we're deploying capital elsewhere, and it's working. So
send it back to see you.
There it is.
About our final story for today, the PSKY story. The DOJ has cleared Warner Bros. Discovery deal. The U.S. Department of Justice approved the PSKY proposed $110 billion acquisition of WBD, concluding the transaction is unlikely to harm its competitors or, harm competition or consumers. DOJ has said its 8-month review has found the merger could actually increase competition across streaming, television, as well as film by creating creating a stronger competitor in the evolving media landscape. This deal still requires approval. It's left from the FCC, which is reviewing foreign ownership interests that are tied to Gulf sovereign wealth funds that are participating in this transaction financing. Some lawmakers have also raised concerns regarding foreign investors coming in from, bear with me, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and potential Chinese involvement through Tencent.
Yeah, there's an interesting development here with the DOJ having to kind of also clear this in addition to state regulators, and we've seen sort of this conglomerate of states that are now going to take their issue with this merger to court. So we'll have to see, whether the states can kind of put the kibosh on this deal. But from a federal level, it looks like it's all steam ahead. Let's see if it closes.
Yeah, but Sharif, you and I talked about this before. I believe it's as of September. The company's going to have to pay shareholders, Warner Brothers, that is, I think it's around a nickel a share, and then it can be a peak around a quarter a share. So they want this deal to close as soon as possible because I do believe they've already overpaid for the company. You're starting to see on Paramount, they are advertising some HBO Max shows. There is the Game of Thrones, the House of Dragons that they're displaying on there, Euphoria, and all of those other big names that they're going to be acquiring and adding to the Paramount catalog. But once again, they've overpaid. They're going to be paying a fine if they don't get the deal closed. And they also had to pay Netflix, I believe it was $2 billion in order, or the backout fee, I believe it was, or something along those lines. So, yeah, I mean, Paramount wants this to close as soon as possible because it's going to continue to cost them more and more money.
Cool. Let's go back to Sia.
So going to go to me here. NVDA. A little bit more here on this investment grade bond sale. We heard earlier today they're looking to raise $20 billion. Then we heard about an hour ago that they had apparently received $85 billion worth of interest. Looks like they've actually raised $25 billion. So somewhere in between, though, definitely much closer to the lower end of what we were expecting. Again, $25 billion has reportedly been raised by NVIDIA in their investment grade bond sale. Back to you.
Okay, so should we go back to Sia for the next story?
That's it,
That's
man.
it. That's the
the end
last
of
one. Okay. All right, guys.
RGNT, you want to talk about this name?
Yeah, halted up.
It halted.
Well, it was just up to 15, Joey. I had a feeling this was going to make it into 15, but there it goes.
It dropped right down to $12, so it was like $3 move relatively quick. So $14.12 now, continuing to climb a little bit higher here, guys. But be careful of this one, as Sharif typically says. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit that $1,000 percentage mark there once again.
Do you wanna get ready?
Yeah,
for,
I'm gonna head over.
there?
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there.
All right, we'll send it off. We'll send Joey off. Thanks for obviously for covering again, Joey. Always kind there. $15 there on RGT as this one closes right back into the highs. Let's take a look at this one on a trading screen. Take a gander and see what this one is doing. Where is it at? 14. I think we're showing a lot of resistance here in the third of a dollar. It's coming back into 14. Could find some support at 13, guys. But my bias always with this one is you're always looking to that next $5 level, whatever that $5 level ends up being. Is it 20? Is it 25? Keep your eye out on this one. It's bleeding down now into 13 3/4. Look for a hold up generally at 13. It could be an interesting one there. Other than that, I'm not going to be trading into the afternoon. I am off. Going home. We're going to watch the Egypt versus Belgium game in about an hour's time, and then we're going to head on over to the gym. And then as we do, we got to go to other work, as we always do. And then we'll be home nice and late for bedtime. Looking for continuation here through 15 on RGNT. You're not immediately getting that, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. The position that I've been in the majority of the afternoon has been QTEX. We're going to flatten out this trade here at 35, so we'll make about 7 pennies on the remaining amount there. QTEX could be a really good one going into the afternoon because it's been a solid higher low, higher high fiesta on this bad boy here, but it wasn't quite able to make it up into that 2.5 with an only 242 high. 13 showing up here again on RGNT, getting a nice little bounce. So current bar low right into 1281, moving right back into 13 3/2. So watch out here for RGNT. And just before I send you off to the boys, SpaceX into the day high, 188.75, 190 incoming on SPCX. Great trade, Katina, man. take over and let them know how you were looking at this. Peace, everybody.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I just put out, uh-oh, did we switch over?